welcome to the Beetle and Grimm's Pandemonium Warehouse Shopping Network. Shipping Goblin Bob here is going to tell you all about our new Platinum Edition. It's my favorite.
Thanks, George. Friends, are you tired of putting a cat, a flask of poison, and a source of radiation into a sealed box and having to settle for a cat that's dead or alive? Well, Beetle and Grimm's Pandemonium Warehouse has the product for you. Introducing the Schrodinger's Cat Platinum Edition. With the Schrodinger's Platinum Box, you can have both versions of your pet at the same time. Free yourself from objective collapse and enjoy a cat that simultaneously exists in two decoherent realities. It's time for atomic indeterminacy to enter the macroscopic domain. It's time for Schrodinger's Cat Platinum Edition.
Yeah. She's totally dead. But totally alive.
Only from Beetle and Grimm's Pandemonium Warehouse. Simultaneously available and sold out now.
In a world wrought with demons, going to hell is the only way to get redemption. 5 adventures, 1 mission. This spring, join us as we descend into Avernus, the first layer of hell. Action, fire, brimstone. If you make a deal with the devil, you better be prepared to dance. Band of Badgers, Descent into Avernus, coming this May.
Hello everybody, and welcome back once again to the mythic north of Sweden, where once again we will be running through our mystery here, our story King Hunt, based in the VAESEN system by Free League. And we will be getting into that vibe episode shortly, but for now, this is Band of Badgers. You are watching us, we are doing the thing. I'm very excited. I am Elle, your game master. I'll be your host for the evening, but of course I will not be doing this by myself because that would be ridiculous. I am joined by my fantastic players today, including a special guest, which we will introduce last but not least. I will go around each of you one by one, and you can introduce yourselves to our lovely viewers today. Please let us know your name, your pronouns, and where we can find you on the internet. Let's start with you, Joe. Right off the bat, bamboozle.
My name's Joe, and I am playing just Pavel now. And I go by I'm a Good Demon Honest on all socials. So yeah, thank you.
Fab. And Ree. Fantastic. And Jairus.
I didn't realize recreated was a pun, and I'm angry at myself.
Good one.
Speaking of puns, dangerous on all of the Twitters. Say it fast and laugh. Pronouns are he, him. Playing Alexander Kruger. Enjoy. Hi.
Okay, and T.
Hi, plasticity, T for short, or Plasty if you feel so inclined. He, him, as far as I'm concerned or aware, playing Dr. Anki Salo, the allegedly good doctor, allegedly person, who knows. Roleplays the name, puns the game, and you can probably find me if you actually want to look, but meh.
Yeah, cool. And we are joined by a special guest today in the wonderful Matt Brown from Split the Party. Hey there, Matt.
Hey, thanks for having me. I've been looking forward to this so much all week.
Happy days.
Yeah, I'm playing Crassius Curio, so anyone who's familiar with the Elder Scrolls series will recognize some semblance of character, but I can assure you that I will butcher it.
It's going to be fantastic. Cool. Where can they find you on the internet, Matt?
You can find me myself over at NoFunBrown on Twitter, or hit up our Twitter for Split the Party, which is the series and channel that I produce, edit, and DM for, at youtube.com/splittheparty, or @split_the party on Twitter.
Fantastic. And we will be coming back to that ever so shortly when on the break we have an in-depth chat with Matt about the stuff he does and the stuff he puts out into the world and the content and all that good stuff, all that commotion. We will also be giving away a copy of the game we're going to be playing today. We're going to be giving away a copy of the core rulebook for VAESEN in PDF form to a lucky winner of a thing that will fall out of my brain when the time comes. So stick around. For now, though, I am Elle once again. He, him, at Good and Chaotic, a bunch of places around the internet. Thanks again to our supporters, Beadle and Grim and the wonderful Freely, who wrote the system and also support us. You guys are awesome. We couldn't do this without you. And we'll be playing Night Sow today, which was actually written by Neil Sincer. He is awesome as well. And we're super, super happy to be doing this because I hope I don't butcher it. Knuckle crack. Before we begin, I do have to say, VAESEN is a horror game. Things may get spooky, things may get unpleasant. Should that happen, I have a system here where I will flash these lights red. When these lights go red, that is your cue to run away and get a cup of tea or otherwise leave the stream if that is not your bag, if you don't like gore, if you don't like extreme violence, that sort of thing. Go away and then come back when the lights are once again green. My players have a system here as well where they drop me an X in Discord or any of that nonsense and I will move scene on. So if at any point a scene suddenly stops and we move on, that's why. So that being said, I think that's all our OC notes. Who's ready to dive into the mystery today?
Yes.
You know
What if we just say no? What if we all unionize and say no?
Well, I agree.
Free unionization.
You can't make us. You can't kill us if we don't roll dice.
Oh, you're right. I absolutely
I
can.
bet she could. I bet you could.
Oh, there are many, many more things. There are many more things on the way to killing you that I could do. Anyway,
Be surprised what you can live through.
That's the goal. So, as we once again bring ourselves back into Castle Gillenkreuts today, back to Uppsala, through the darkened clouds of Sweden as winter begins to truly take hold, the nights have begun to overwhelm the days here. The fires burn day and night. Watch closely by yourselves. After very clear arson threats left in the subtext of the lamp oil order, supposedly destined for this place, you are vigilant throughout the week. But nothing comes of it. Eventually, the week comes to its conclusion and passes, and nothing has happened. There's been no sign of a shipment of lamp oil, no sign of aggressive action, nothing. It's been quiet, eerily quiet. The mood has been tense, as you've all been forced to wait an attack that didn't come, ever loomed over by that and the note you found on Olaus Klint's body declaring night no longer a problem, learning that this mysterious assailant was going after the Herring Baron in the order that sealed Olaus Klint's fate. Emmeline the Ghost has been helping you sort through things you found in the study of the man who had pretending to be Algot Frisk, seemingly the heart of a great forgery operation, wherein all the society's most leading members' notes and research had been stolen and copied, the new versions written under the new name of Carl Linnaeus. You recall that when Algot left, he took all of your notes from the mysteries you had previously embarked on before Scarpering. You also found that in this study, the fate of all those he stole the notes from were sealed on that mission to Dale Carlia. Every society member that he copied information from was either killed or recruited into Linnaeus's plans for disposal later, the most recent example being Olaus Klint. Speaking of which, you took his body home. What did you do with it?
Hey.
What didn't we do with it?
Oh, let's not phrase it like that, first of all. Let's, I think I need to drop an X in chat for that one. That's horrible.
Well, you say that, and I don't think I'm pretty much reading into something of it, but I do think that Ingrid will be involved, and in any way that insults me as a physicist. Yeah, there's been a lot of acolytes since we came home, okay? Yes. Physician.
I presume after a thorough examination of... We already know that what killed him, but of a thorough examination of his pockets, he is probably buried in the garden.
If I may.
You may.
Do we not have a person who has a propensity for speaking with the dead? Or is that just fish?
I mean, Ingrid knows, but if Ingrid would like to utilize specific things, then that is up to her.
Are you asking Ingrid if she's going to speak to the bed?
I mean, I've seen you animate a chicken soup, if memory serves.
I didn't animate the chicken soup, I cooked it. It's very different.
You also talked to it.
Don't you talk to your dinners?
Not really. What I mean by this is essentially that after just doing a proper, now that we have equipment autopsy, asking if anybody else has any sort of interest or any sort of extra things that I haven't thought of because I'm too furious. Then speak now or we will bury this man.
What I would say is that you do realize, after seeing sort of the truth of what happened to this man and learning exactly what his motivations have been this entire time, you gather the fact that there probably isn't much more to learn from this corpse.
Ingrid remains mysteriously silent.
In which case, does anybody want to keep a souvenir or are we putting him in the ground?
I take his boots.
His boots. Good. You managed to replace your old dead man boots from before with new dead man boots that are slightly less holy, but slightly less well buffed, as your wonderful butler friend had given them a nice scrubbing before and made them shine. But yes, these ones are going to need similar treatment.
I'm fairly sure we still have a butler around.
Oh God, no, you're so right. Thurston is still around. Yeah, great. Yeah, you made a friend last time on your last mystery in Thurston the butler, who has remained at Castle Gillencroots, and he very much gives your shoes a buff before you put them on.
I'm absolutely going to enjoy Elle doing that accent.
And I say this with all sincerity. Beans. Right.
Kruger will, if no one else actually wants to do this, like if you're all just doing this out of necessity to bury this person, Kruger will basically just be like, it is fine, I'll do it while you are working to find your missing child. And then he just huffs the body onto his shoulders and then walks out with it and then just walks to the graveyard.
Okay. Kruger, are you burying it? What are you doing? Okay.
With actual reverence and of a person who, in secret, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. No problem. You do that without any sort of
unless anyone's trying to interrupt me.
I suppose we should holler in case the father wants to say a few words over his corpse.
Yeah, I suppose I could go and say a few things if needs be.
Okay. Yep, easy enough. You hold a service over it. Father Pavel, you do that under the ever watchful eye of Ingrid.
Mm-hmm.
And then
he scoffs the whole way through.
And then the day progresses. Another day or so passes. You will continue in this sort of slump that you've all been in of trying to figure this out when you've really had no leanings one way or another. You were all just sort of hunkering down and trying not to lose your minds in Castle Gillencroots. Until one day, there is a knock at the door. After a tense week of battening down the hatches and hearing nothing, it's almost a shock.
Who wants to open while I prepare preventative medication?
Not me. I would not like to be killed.
It would all depend on who it is. I think we send...
Excellent, you volunteered, Father.
I think we send the big man, surely.
Yeah, sure, we have a butler now.
Yeah, sort of as you're discussing this, Thurston zooms past you, making directly for the door.
Consummate professional, that one.
And it says, I'm not doing the accent. I can't do the voice, guys. I just can't do it
Go for
justice.
do it.
Oh,
I believe.
God.
Do it.
If you yell, get to the chopper, that might be your...
He opens it. I'm going to try. It says,
Just try. We're not going to laugh.
There is a person here to see you all. There's a young person here. She says her name is Sophia. And sort of as you all hear this name and make your way towards the door, you very much see that the wide-eyed girl who stands there is very much instantly recognizable. even as Sophia's face is more gaunt and exhausted than ever, as you open the door, a relieved sob tears its way out of her throat, and she throws herself at the nearest one of you in sort of a hug and just refuses to let go. As you sort of feel her arms around you, I'm gonna say it was Ingrid, her arms feel spindlier than normal. Like, she was obviously quite emaciated before because she'd not had a great time of it, but it seems like she's gone a while without a good meal. Sort of breaks away and rights herself.
You need to learn how to eat forest food.
Hi.
Hello.
So,
So,
yeah. Not dead. Sorry.
why are you apologizing for not being
That is of
dead?
concern. Sorry for not being dead is not acceptable. You are alive and that is good news. Thurston, put on something hot.
Oh, no, we don't have time. We don't have
He
time.
needs
Listen.
food, not clothes!
Right you are! From the kitchen. Sophia.
Spot on. It's like he's here. Spot- It's like-
Sophia sort of takes your hands, Ingrid. She's like, we don't have time. We don't have time for that. I'm sorry. Listen, the man who was here a week ago, the man who said he was your steward, he was taking things, so I tried to stop him, obviously, and then he tried to grab me, so I ran away, and then I met the detective dude. I can't remember his name. Teddy, I think his name's Teddy, and he told me to go to the asylum to ask Linnea for help, so I did, and I've been staying there for the past week or so, just keeping out of sight. She says it's not safe for us to go out and about, but we had to do this time because Knight told us to wait for him to come back to tell us when it was safe to come out again, and he hasn't come back. And Linnea got worried, so she sent me to come and get you, and she needs help. We need your help.
We will be out of the door as soon as you finish the sentence. Except you've already finished the sentence. It is good to see you alive and I'm confused.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hi.
Come with
This
me.
is Thurston.
Hi, Thurston. And she sort of waves, and sort of Thurston
We have replaced.
very gentlemanly. Thurston gives her a gentlemanly bow. We'll say. So weird RPing someone else's character.
Thurston will keep you safe, and we will go find Teddy.
No, I need to go and stay with Linnea, but she needs me right now. But I mean, if you want to go look in on Teddy along the way, we can. His office is on the way. But
Well, in that case, we are already moving, and I
Okay.
will be grabbing one of the final things of tins of biscuits because you need food.
yeah, that's fair. Just been really nervous. Haven't really been able to eat much. As you all sort of make your way back into Uppsala proper, Sophia takes your hand, Dr. Anki, and leads you along. As you go, she's like, "Okay,
yes.
do you want to pop by the office? I think it's down that way."
Might as well, just to see if there is bad or any news.
Okay, sure. She sort of leads you along. It's about halfway between Castle Gillincroots and the asylum, this place, and it's, as you approach it, the street is usually quiet. This part of town is not great, usually. It's underfunded compared to the city centre. The shops here have recently closed down. Teddy's actual place is above a bookshop and between a closed store that once held maybe general goods and a general goods store that obviously superseded it next to it. And as you walk up to the fire escape that leads up to Teddy's office, you can see even from here that it's more of a mess than normal. Halfway up the fire escape, you see that the rickety door that leads into this place is now even more rickety than ever. The door is ajar and clinging on only by its bottom hinge. It is clear that somehow it has been booted in. That doesn't happen normally. This desk, as you walk in, is overturned and blood spatters the walls. Paperwork has been flung about, and the door to the apartment behind the office is also wide open. As you're all led inside, Sophia sort of gasps and looks extremely concerned.
Perkele. Well, no body can be a good thing. It is better than finding a dead one.
I begin, like, looking around.
Roll logic investigation, Ingrid.
I desire to help in this endeavor.
Okay, and anyone
Yeah.
who's helping.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 additional dice there, Ingrid, for you.
Right, you'll have to bear with me if anybody wants to do anything while I'm sorting this out.
Other than, well, force feed is too strong a word, but other than aggressively hand biscuits to an emaciated child person,
That's fair. As
I will
they're
have no
sort of
others die today.
as they're sort of picking around the office, we will switch scene briefly, and we find ourselves zooming across from Teddy Knight's office through the streets of Uppsala, winding around the various bolding trees, past the various small houses that grow in size as it reaches the city centre, wind past great iron gates surrounding an imposing building of 3 stories that forms Uppsala Asylum. We find ourselves going through a top window that has been left slightly ajar on the top floor into an apartment. The apartment of Linnea Elfclint. She is a small, sort of waify looking woman, about 70s maybe, sort of wearing very practical clothing. She holds books in her hands. There has been books piled open and left on the sides from where her young assistant Sophia has been sifting through various things. And you, Cassio, no, sorry, I've got your name wrong already. How terrible of me.
It's Crassius.
Crassius. You, Crassius, find
Yes.
yourself sat on the armchair opposite Linnea, your old friend, as she talks you through what you can expect of this upcoming mission. She says, I do thank you for coming at such short notice. I am aware well, we haven't talked for some time, have we?
No, and thank you for coming to me and telling me about all of this. I actually had some, I had rather a bit of interest on what you were telling me. Please do fill me in a bit more on what I can expect on. Is it a mission? Is that what you're actually calling it? Like, that's seriously, is it a covert operation? Because I don't really do those.
Well, it's not specifically a mission, I don't think.
Okay.
It's more of a well, I would hope it's more of a just going to see an old friend and ascertaining exactly what it is that is going on there with them. They are stuck inside what seems to be a hotel, and they haven't been able to leave. They've been harassed by some sort of being. They couldn't tell me any more. I will obviously fill you in when the others arrive, but
And so you're not expecting me to rough and tumble, shake him down. I'm not really. You can see, and I put up my arm. It's like it goes the other way, almost
Yeah.
like Looney Tune style. It's like I can't shake people down if you need money from them. In fact, I actually owe money to people, so it's just not going to work if you're expecting me to get all fisticuffs on them.
Well, yes, I know, dear. You do owe me money from 5 years ago. Don't worry.
Oh, I thought I paid that back. I definitely. No, let's call it even. Call it even.
Of course.
For now.
You know what? We can call it payment for your help in this recent endeavor.
Excellent. I'll add it to my invoice.
Oh, good. How is the book selling going, by the way?
Yes, very, very well. I figured I'd start a new book, really, and I thought,
Really?
what great things would be if I could actually start writing, soon to be very successful. I've already taken out the grant and everything, and the publishers. Oh, the publishers! Don't get me started on the publishers. They have kindly given me a very, very soon due date. And
Really?
yes.
Oh, wow. That is fantastic. Well,
Yes, it's great. I love writing under so much pressure.
Oh, well, I wish you all the best. You do always have such a keen eye for wordsmithing, Bishop.
Oh, thank you. I just more, always more. That's all I can say. Just give me more words of encouragement. It'll help my creative process.
Oh, good. Well, I shall continue to do that as we wait your compatriots then. I do think you'll get along swimmingly.
Oh, excellent.
We will draw away from that scene ever so briefly as we zoom once again back across Uppsala towards the office of Teddy Knight. How many successes did we get, dear Ingrid?
None.
None! Straight pavelled it,
Yeah.
sweet lord. Oh, dear.
We have been under a lot of stress lately, in her defense.
Would you like to push your luck?
Yeah, I'm trying to investigate where everything's gone, so I very much want to push my luck.
Go for it. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Make me your reroll, and we'll see what happens.
This isn't looking good. 1 success!
Yay! Okay. As you all sort of look around this place, you can see that all of Knight's belongings have indeed been taken, as well as his briefcase and his notes. However, Ingrid, as you sort of walk your way around this place, you sort of familiarize yourself with the environment. The overturned desk, very cheaply made, it's coming apart at the seams from the impact of being thrown against the floor. There was a hot plate in the corner that's just an absolute travesty. The sofa, as it was, has been ripped up even more. Bed has been unmade. But you do see, as you walk around this place, you shuffle a half-emptied manila folder with your foot, and you notice there is a note that has been left under it, sort of half-hidden, in a familiar, spidery, shaky hand. And it says, "Friends, Linnaeus found me. I managed to pull enough strings to stop that shipment of lamp oil heading straight for you and your new friend. He seemed completely unconcerned with collateral, but I fear if I remain, my presence will do more harm than good. Hopefully I will be back with better tidings soon, but for now I can leave you with this. I am alive, and so is your friend and her canine accomplice. Take heart and stay alive. Teddy Knight." And it's as you read these words, Ingrid, that whilst the hope from hearing that your friend is alive sparks something in your soul, it's tempered by this deep fear of the very real threat that you narrowly escaped, the very real threat of a extreme arson attack hitting you. And that sort of fear takes root deep in your soul, and you're going to take the frightened condition for me as the realization hits you just exactly what you have escaped here.
Okay. I will shakingly hand out the letter to Alexander.
Sorry. What? Sorry. I was collecting dice. What did you say?
I'm shakily handing you a letter that basically, in a nutshell, says from Teddy, "I'm alive."
Yes, I'm alive, yeah.
They have Esther. They also stopped the shipment of lamp oil. And no panics. Still alive, bruh.
Can I have a quick look around this room? And this has obviously been wrecked, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Does it look like it was wrecked in such a way that it was trying to cover up the fact that they were looking for something specific?
Yeah. Please make me a logic investigation roll. So we'll have this roll separately since you're looking for something specific.
Logic. There's so many dice.
That sounds like a luxury problem, to be perfectly honest.
I know, right? Now I had to get a 6 tonight. I paveled it.
Pavel
Oh,
count
no.
2.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I'm not going to push my luck. I was really just looking for clarification. But
okay. What is it you would like clarification on, and we'll see.
Honestly, just to see if this looks like, because I understand how certain things like this work. Like you go in, if you're looking for something specific, you don't want them to know what you were looking for, so you trash the entire place so it looks like a run of the mill B&E. Is that what it kind of looks like, or does it generally look like this was actually wrecked apart?
From the way that the place has been overturned, you get the idea that you're a very sort of conscientious mind when it comes to this sort of thing. You've seen these sort of scenarios before. You can tell that the assailants came for this person specifically. They came to murder this individual. You can tell from the way the boot has been applied to the door. You can tell from the blood spatter. There isn't really enough for casualties of any sort. But yeah, it was enough that the person inside, you get the idea that they probably held their own long enough to scare off their attackers, grab their stuff, and run.
Okay. Interesting. That kind of makes me feel like it was not done by the people that I think it was done by, but then again, maybe it was. Who knows? Didn't roll very well. Okay. So, your friend and her dog are with this man who has escaped. What do we do now?
Well,
We proceed to the asylum.
yeah, I would suggest that we probably shouldn't stay out in the city for long. Linnea says that this Linnaeus man is looking for you all too. She seems to think he's intent on doing you all harm.
You can try.
Well, it's good to see confidence. And with that, she sort of takes Anki's hand again and leads you all towards the asylum. It's bleaker than you remember out here. Even for Uppsala in the dead of winter, it seems unfriendly, bleak, and unhappy. The skies bruise like clouds press in on all sides, like the pending judgment of gallons of ice water looming high above. The wind winds its way down your spine, finding its way past jackets and scarves and piercing to the bone, and the streets are quiet as you move through them. Eventually, you once again find yourselves passing the black spire-like wrought iron gates in the fencing and entering the looming building of the asylum. The yellow light from within turns the windows into black light-stained teeth against the doom. Once again, you are shown through levels of the asylum, given the nod from the receptionist, and hearing a far-off bird-like whistling as you traverse the stairs up to the apartment. You sort of hear also as you go up sort of a lullaby sung in a minor key. It renders it anything but comforting. Sophia opens the door to Linnea's apartment with a key of her own and ushers you all inside. It's the same interior as before for the most part, except for the bookshelves looking like she may be in the middle of an intense search of some kind. Some shelves are entirely clean of books, splayed open on nearby worktops next to stacks of paper penned in a neat hand. In the middle of the room is Linnea herself, sat next to a man you don't recognize. As you enter, she breaks off her conversation with him and stands. Matt, could you please describe your character for us?
So Crassius has he's got a bit of a smug look on his face. And hold on, I can bring up my art that I had. He's very much just like, it's like a nobleman dress almost, like a got a bit of purple hue to his attire, like a white undershirt, a nice like kind of jacket with the nice collars running all the way down, partly through the chest, and buttons kind of lining each side. He has a cane. You're not sure if he actually needs it.
Amazing. Linnea sort of greets you all with a warm yet tired smile as she stands. She, much like Sophia, seems exhausted. She gives you all a very polite nod, though, looking over at the work table as Sophia moves over herself to the work table and seemingly picks up from where she left off, right in the middle of this project of scanning through these books, and picks up a quill, begins to write. Linnea sort of smiles and says, everybody, this is Crassius. He is a dear friend of mine who will be helping me and hopefully helping you on what I intend to get you to help me with. That made no sense. I'm terribly sorry. Do come in. Everybody, this is Crassius. This is the people who've been renting or bought up Castle Gillencreutz's.
Oh, that's you lot. Oh,
Yes.
I've heard some semblance of things.
What have you heard?
That you bought a castle and moved in, and that's most of it, actually.
So this conversation, then?
Yes. Entirely,
He's not
almost.
technically lying, Ingrid. It's a good start.
Yes, this is Ingrid, Dr. Anki, Father Pavel, and Alexander, I think your name was. We haven't met yet in person, but I've heard great things.
Sergeant Alexander Kruger, yes.
Sergeant, yes. Army man. All right, all of you do come in, make yourselves comfortable. I am terribly sorry to have summoned you here on such short notice and with little to no sort of politeness involved, but we have found ourselves in somewhat of a predicament, and I find myself in need of help on 2 separate counts.
Ingrid finds the nearest seat and sits in it completely wrong as standard Ingrid.
Bisexual sitting.
Yes, just a mess.
It's a mess.
She's on the arm, she's like leaning one of her arms on top of the chair, she's got her feet on the other armrest, and not one part of her is actually touching the actual seat.
Oh, that's incorrect. I need to learn new things. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, so do you always sit like that? Is that a thing you do? Like, do you enjoy that? Is that particularly comfortable?
Do you always sit like that?
Yes, it's like you put your legs forward, and you just put them there. I'm sorry, do you know who I am by chance? Beyond our initial investigations of the castle and our chats with the things?
Well, if you think about this, do you know who I am beyond our conversation with the castle?
Not a clue. I'm just going to be straight up with that. I've never heard of you in my life, but you've heard of me, right?
No. Exactly the same answer.
Oh.
Yep.
How do we know if we've heard of him?
Right, I will let you roll for this.
Because it seems too stupid a chance to
Sure.
pass up on.
Does he owe me money?
I can assure you I owe nobody money. Look, no one in this room particularly looking at... No, I don't think I do.
Let's have you all roll empathy observation, please.
Oh no.
Can I just fail
Let's see what
this?
you can glean.
Can Ingrid
You
also
can.
fail because she's lived in the
can.
forest most of her life?
Absolutely. I will say yes, that's fine.
Would have
You
been even
no
funny
idea
if
who
you were
this
the
man
only
is.
one who had heard of it.
Somehow, the mushrooms speak his name.
Singular
Because he's such a
success.
fun guy.
Hey.
I do love a good shroom.
One. Okay. Cressius, what would they have heard of you sort of as a base level?
Oh, just some novels that may have come out that may or may not have my author line as the tag. Oh, I think I've got some here. I just pull out like enough books for everyone.
When the only person in the party who knows about the famous person is the charlatan, it speaks loads to your character.
Yes. Well,
Where's the
I'm just
charlatan?
look. Consider it a freebie. I find you all charming, and I think it would be great for our relationship, or at least working relationship, to get to know each other.
Well, I
Splendid.
dare say you'll have plenty of time for that. You see, dear Sophia and I, we've found ourselves somewhat limited in what we can do from here, and I fear we would put ourselves at more risk exposing ourselves than any of us even know at this point. So I'm here asking your aid here. A friend of mine recently sent me a missive asking for my help. I, of course, cannot acquiesce, but I was hoping that you could, considering you have proven yourselves so adept at that sort of thing. And here, it was some sort of beast she seems to be beset by. Here, I'll give you the letter. Where is it? Sophia, could you hand me the missive, please? And the young girl sort of hands her this piece of paper, and she hands it to one of you. Let's say Dr. Anki is probably closest.
Yes, that is likely.
Yeah. So she hands you this letter, and it says, so, "What do you make of it?" The letter says, "Little Lily, you barely remember me, do you? The years have fluttered by like butterflies, and I shall soon turn 70, but who is counting? I wish the purpose of this letter was to renew our special connection, which I have missed dearly, and I would hope to discuss with you one day the strange events that occurred at Castle Gillicroots those so many years ago. Thought that, though this is also true, I write to you now regarding another matter. I need your help. The situation is dire indeed, or I would not have had the nerve to contact you. I assume that you are still living in Uppsala. Surely you have not abandoned our beloved city. Anyway, I'm currently located in Molly, a small fishing village in the south. My friends and I are staying at the Molly Seaside Hotel. You must come help us, Lily. I can tell you no more than that for fear that someone else might read this letter. It must be all of you. It must be you, of all people, has to do with our special secret, our way of seeing things that brought us together all those years ago. Bring all the weapons, tools, and strange items you can find. Anything might prove useful. Until then, my friends and I are stuck at the hotel. This is a mess of our own making, but nevertheless, despite everything, I ask for your help. Love, your dearest Oggo." As you sort of stop reading this, Dr. Anki, Linnea says, "So, as you can see, she's in somewhat of a predicament. I did some digging in the local area and dug up rumors of a supernatural boar-like creature, which is why I contacted dear Crassus here. He has been researching such beasts for some time, and so I thought he would be one of the best people to help."
As long as he's here voluntarily and perfectly understanding with our track record of keeping academics.
Your
Oh,
mic's
you've
muted.
muted yourself.
We can't hear
We are
you.
experiencing technical difficulties.
Oh dear.
We can't hear you.
I'm
There you
sorry.
go.
I was thinking in my head just so much about rehearsing, what I was going to say. Academics.
Researchers.
Okay. Well, yes, but is there grants or anything? If you do a particularly good job, is there like payment at all?
Crassius, if you would like something of the sort, I could pull some contacts at the university here and see what I can do. Certainly.
If you wouldn't mind, it's no sweat off my back. Honestly, I'm happy to do it. But if that works for you, then sure.
Okay, right, yes. No worries. I will certainly see what I can do. As for the rest of you, would you be would you be willing to help me? I'm aware I've sort of summoned you all here, and oh gosh, thank you. I do so appreciate it.
I will help. I don't know about Father. Father Pavel.
I'm more than happy to help. Yeah.
Oh, good. The Molly is an interesting town. There have been sufficient rumors about it, sort of floating around. It's a very popular tourist destination, especially since the seaside hotel was built. It's become sort of a hotspot for local tourists. But it's kind of an odd place as far as we're concerned. Those of us who can see things that others cannot. The journalists at Olympus might know more, for example, or you could do some digging at the library before you go, but I've already purchased your train tickets. I won't lie, or at least I purchased enough to sort of be able to rally people to help me. You have a few hours before it departs. I would suggest that you go and arm yourselves as you would see fit. Oggo has not been particularly forthcoming in her letter, but that is not unusual for Oggo, unfortunately. I suggest you heed my words of warning wisely. If it's any comfort, though, I hear the resort itself is quite lovely. I went to the trouble of arranging rooms for you all, should you wish to partake. And yes, but before you go, would you mind checking in on Detective Knight for me? I'm
already done.
Concerned. Oh, okay, right.
The man lives, although for the time being we do not know where or in what condition. He has vacated the premises for fear of his life and for the security of all of us.
He had enough mental fortitude to be able to write.
That is good.
And with these rooms, are they like, what are they? Are they like economy or like?
Oh, well, Molly, the seaside
hotel.
resort itself, it prides itself on having the best seaside views, so I obviously got you those.
Excellent. That would be good. And meal? Can we get the receipt for the meals? That was all reimbursed as well. I love a good work trip, but I need to know what I can spend frivolously and not spend frivolously, depending on what's, reimbursed.
Jeez, you'd think he wasn't gearing on a mission to save people's lives here.
Yes, but that's also good. But I've just got to be very conscious of money sometimes. With debts.
Can I just pass him a note?
Yes, what does it say?
Oh, 10 currency.
10 currency.
Oh, right, I see, got it. Yeah, easily.
Oh.
Just get slipped some cash.
Thank you. That's
Buy a sandwich and shut up.
I will buy
awesome.
more than a sandwich with this. You go to the bargain bin, you can get whatever you want.
I love Crassius so much. This is amazing. Yeah, sort of. Linnea says, I'm sure once you get in contact with Oggo, she would be more than willing to maybe front some meals or a few drinks and as thanks. Yes. Is there anything more you'd like to ask me before I usher you on your way? We're rather busy, unfortunately.
No, we'll go find information now. Alexander, Do you need to ask anything of the lady?
Not from you, no. This beast we are hunting is large boar, yes?
From what I've heard, yes.
Yes.
The only thing that springs to mind is the name Linnaeus has come up a lot. Is that the same man who we have heard so much about since earlier, and if memory serves, has not been dead for the last 80 years?
Yes, Carl Linnaeus. No, he's very much not dead. He ran the society for a while, and at the culmination of his tenure as head of society, declared himself no longer one of us, declared himself bereft of the sight, and left the meeting, causing quite an uproar amongst our ranks. I hate to say it, but it caused divides that we didn't really recover from. That and the tragedies I now suspect he was probably behind.
That seems to be in line with what we have experienced, yes. I just wanted to know that it's in fact the same man.
Yes.
And that is good to know, and also terrifying. That is fine. This is fine.
I am only sorry we cannot be of, well, I cannot be of more help than sort of helping behind the scenes, but he knows who we are. He knows who I am. If I were to go out and actively try and help, I would likely just get myself killed.
Miss Elfclint, you kept Sophia alive for the remainder of the time, and that is more than we could have asked for.
It was my pleasure.
Then so it shall be ours to rid you of whatever ails you.
Thank
to
you.
the best of our abilities, if we survive.
Right.
Yes, if we survive.
I'm very much hoping that in partaking in solving this, you will be able to solve some of the issues for yourselves as well.
I'm sure we'll all find what we're looking for.
I look at him suspiciously.
It looks like he said a million things like this before, and at this point just brushes it off. She almost pays it no attention. She's like, okay.
Every time he speaks, Dr. Anki's perma frown just deepens.
I look over and I'm like, would you like an autograph? I know you're staring, but it's sometimes in certain cultures a bit rude. I'm happy to do it though.
I would be happy to take one for the obituary.
Look, I love a good joke, so sure. And he just writes in the book.
Oh, wonderful. All right, as you all leave the asylum, having said goodbyes to Linnea, you once again find yourselves in the streets of Uppsala. And here we come to the exciting stage of Advantage. We are going to be running a few select scenes before you will depart for the seaside town in which we hold our adventure here today. Do remember that you will be able to partake in as many scenes as possible, but only one scene will you gain advantage from. So, that being said, how would you like to prepare to go and visit the seaside town of Moli?
I would like to see my friends.
You'd like to go see your friends?
Is just for my out of game knowledge, is this like prepping and then we get on the train and then the seaside, like we head over there in a bit? Oh, good. So we're still in this town. Good. I would love to go have a word with some people I know. If I could get some, Kruger, would you consider yourself a bit of a strong man? Could you consider yourself like muscle?
I could be persuaded to assist, yes.
But I'll give you another book. How's that? And then you could do whatever you want with it. Just consider it another freebie.
Fair enough. Then
Okay, good. That sounds good. Okay, I have to go have a word with my publishers. Now, they set a very soon due date, and I really would like to get that extended. And I feel like if I have you there with me, I would get that done just a little bit more effectively, And
completely fine, yes.
And don't be afraid to like crack your knuckles, Like I've also got this, and I pull out a gun. I pull out my pistol.
It is very nice. I underslung my rifle.
I've got this
it's
gun.
Very nice.
Now I don't want to use it, but we have guns for some reason, and so I thought it's just like flashy if I need to.
There's a lot of dangerous wildlife. It is very
Yes,
good to
I've
have
also-
at least a weapon on you.
Apparently, I've also got this saber I've just read on my character sheet. I've never used one of these, but people said I should have one on me, just in case I also need to get stabby. I mean,
Why are you just the guy for the IT crowd? What? I've never looked in this drawer before. Oh my god!
Oh, I can do that voice if you
Wonder
want
if
me to
it's loaded.
switch on a dime. Ah, a gun.
Amazing.
Crash is as beautiful as is. We can stick with.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah, I'll come with you.
oh, good. I love this. So, look, we'll go and toodaloo for a bit. And does anyone want anything from the shop while we're out?
Cornetto.
Like an iced coffee or something? I don't know if that
Cornetto.
exists in this time period, but I'm
We have
offering
coffee.
anyway.
They tried to outlaw it, it did not stick.
Okay.
Amazing.
Well, I'm going to go sort out this, and hopefully I'll still come back alive. So see you later.
Great. Cassius, you leave with Alexander for the publishing house, which will be a whole thing, and I'm excited. Ingrid,
I just for my quick as well, just for my actual thing, I wanted to go and get some bear traps.
Oh, we
Sure.
can also do that.
Yeah,
we can.
I
All right,
go-
we'll work that in. We'll work that along
Stop
the
by
way.
the shop, get a bear trap. Actually, that would work with what we're doing. So that's all. I'm all good for that before the publisher even.
Ingrid's going to sneak out midway through that weird conversation about bear traps and guns. And she's just gonna almost like. She's
course.
just
Where are you go?
sneaking out.
Okay. Who would like? Is anyone going with Ingrid?
I was thinking of going back to the house if we could to try
Yep.
to investigate some stuff about boars and those sorts of wild creatures and
No worries.
whatnot.
Easy peasy. Okay.
I
Dr.
trust
Anki,
Ingrid.
where would you like to go?
We letting Ingrid off by herself again.
Yes, we are, because thus far it has rendered some of the most reliable results ever.
Very true.
I would like to attend to the Uppsala Gazette.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries.
Um,
That would be Olympus, the journalists.
Yes.
Okay, so Dr.
I have
Anki,
questions to ask.
easy peasy. Right, in that case, we will start with the whatever nonsense is going to happen to the local publishing industry of Uppsala. Crassius and Alexander, you make your way towards the upbeat center of Uppsala. Of course, this town is still a remote Swedish town. The upbeat city center is kind of still in the middle of nowhere and not really very upbeat at all, but for Uppsala they're trying, and that's what matters. You swing by a shop that you think sort of might be where you could get the closest thing to what you're looking for. You're looking for sort of metal workers or anywhere armament focused, and
Hunting supplies, general
This
stores.
one just says Jim's hunting supplies. Is this it?
you actually do find one which is a very specific shop across the way. As you sort of peer into the shop, you realize that one's sort of shut down. You rub on the windows, some dust falls off. You have to wipe your hand on like a passerby. You turn around and you see a shop called Linman's Ornaments. And as you look, you hear ow in the back. The door is open and there is a young man there who appears to be looking at a recently fired gun, sort of examining it, and he sort of flicks it open and goes, yeah, that's fine, and flings it over his shoulder. As you will both walk in, he says,
Fine.
hello.
Hey, look, I've also got a gun.
Good, we like those around here.
Yeah,
Mine
no,
are
it's
better.
great. I don't know how to use it, but I'm sure it'll come in handy if I find anything.
Do you want a better one? That one's looks a bit rusted.
Well, will it cost me anything? Because I've got this 20 my friend gave me.
I'll take that.
All right, sweet. Can I get like the biggest gun you can possibly give me with that?
Yeah,
And good
all right.
nick, if possible.
Good Nick, sure. He
I
sort of
hate
dives
that I
beneath the
helped
counter.
this happen.
he looks down above you and goes, he peers back over the counter and goes, how big we talking? Do you want to club someone with it, or do you want to actually fire it at someone?
I don't know if there's like a hand mortar or a blunderbuss or something that can just mass project it, threaten the whole room if I need to.
He sort of nods, ducks back down, and then looks back up and says, you do realize that most of these will break your wrist, right?
Oh no, it's fine. I've got Mr. Brick Shithouse up next to me.
Understood. Ducks back under. He pulls up what looks to be
You're
sort
good
of
with
a...
big guns, right?
Yes, I'm very good.
Oh,
He
yes. Well,
looks
let's do
official.
swapsies, and you can have this one maybe if I can't handle it. If I break a wrist, I'll take yours. You take mine. Up to you. Not
Amazing.
no
How
pressure.
dare you?
Alexander looks so unimpressed. The young man sort of re-arrives again above the counter. He has sort of a shotgun in his hands. It's like a really gnarly looking thing. It's
Oh,
clearly
yes.
been made specifically so that it can use bigger shells. It's kind of a
Oh.
nightmare.
It's an elephant
Furthermore-
gun. You've
Yeah.
given him an elephant gun.
Furthermore,
I c-
it's been sawn off. Half of it is not
Whoa.
there. Greg, this young man who says, "Oh, I'm Greg, by the way." Loads of shell into this thing, turns to the wall and fires, and the side of the shop explodes in a shower of splinters. And he says, "That'll do."
That looks exactly what I'm looking for. Like just mass.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be fired. Just intimidating. You know.
Yeah. Enjoy. And he hands it over.
So what I'm hearing is the dead man's boots curse paid off, and now the cobbler next door is dead.
Yep, absolutely.
Well,
Alexander,
is that, have you just given us a cannon?
I will tell you what that does.
By the
When it-
stats.
Is it like a trench barrel load, or am I Winchestering this thing?
It's you shove the thing in the front and then you
Oh, like
cock it and
like
try not to die.
I'll be on the other end. The person that I'm whatever I'm aiming at.
Right.
Will
The
die.
target, the hypothetical target for sure.
Yes, no, always hypothetical.
Always
Like,
hypothetical.
do you think upperclassmen would be afraid of this?
Oh, absolutely. I think anyone with two brain cells
Excellent.
to rub together would be afraid of this. The fact that you're not scares me.
Oh no, I have lots of experience with guns, like so much.
I can tell that's a lie, but I respect it.
Okay.
I, on the other hand, have a lot of experience.
Yes, he can teach me.
Cool. What do you want? You seem sorted already there, pal. He like examines your gun with
The
reverence.
rifle is fine. I am looking for traps to find a rather large boar, perhaps
Yeah,
bear.
like, also like dual purpose, something a foot could get stuck in if needed.
Something a foot get. What? I'm not going to ask. And he very much turns around and goes into the back. I'm going to have a roll here, see if he has it. Actually, what's your resources, Alexander?
I think they're quite good, if I remember correctly.
4.
Okay, and Crassius, what are your resources?
Oh God. Where am I finding this?
So it's on your
right-hand-
character sheet. Oh, I've got it up here.
In
your
between
resources are
attributes.
3.
Yes.
Oh, resources 3.
Yes.
Great. So
I
Alexander,
rolling
please roll me a pool of 7.
A pool of 7 d6s. That's
Yeah, just Alexander for this because we're
Oh, just
adding
me.
your pools
Oh.
together so that we can see how good exactly this is going to be.
Just the one.
Just the one.
Just
Easy
the one.
enough. That's fine. 1 success is all you need. The young man goes out into the back. You hear loud voices talking in sort of raised tones. One of them seemingly unimpressed. Gareth retorting with, "No, I'll be fine. It's fine." He's pretty much half deaf anyway. He didn't hear it. And if he did hear it, he's probably dead, so whatever. And then the young man comes back with a Hessian sack, jangles it, puts it on the counter. So should be 1 in there. Good for most purposes. The safety latch is on. If you take it off, the person will not be the hypothetical target will not be able to get their foot out of it.
Very
We
good.
don't do refunds. We don't do returns, and we don't do discounts.
Fair
What if
enough.
it was faulty?
Well then,
Like,
tough luck.
What if it just didn't go off?
Well,
tough
if that is the case, then I'm coming back.
Yeah, no, I'll come.
Great.
We'll just come back. It's okay. We'll have a little talk with all of our hypotheticals, and then we'll see what the manager says after that.
Of course. Sounds great.
Yes.
Looking forward to it.
Okay, good. I'll see you then.
I know that Alexander isn't necessarily intimidating these absolute nutcases, but still.
Yeah.
He will murder them, but
Absolutely.
they won't care, so it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I love Kruger and this dynamic that is forming.
It's
For the
a
record, I'm
wonderful,
okay. I
like,
like this guy.
they're just
Yeah.
enabling each other's nonsense, and I love that.
Just a
Absolutely.
giant Russian bear of a man. He's a
He's like
terrifying wall of fur.
He is
He's like
massive.
my go-to guy at this point.
It's fantastic. It's like we've known him 5 minutes and we're already best friends. It's just
Oh, yeah,
that
this is
that
great.
dynamic is my favorite. Yeah, so Gareth sort of hands you these things. You manage to exchange currency and find your way out the door. The publishing house is maybe a street away, a very well-appointed building, sort of a townhouse type gig, couple stories. There's like a lovely veranda, bay windows. There's a couple of very well-dressed men with suits and pocket squares and pocket watches outside, and very stylishly dressed, smoking cigars and talking. One of them has like a mug of coffee in one hand, looks over as you both approach, goes back to continuing their conversation. Sort of in the window, you can see people milling around, typewriters clicking. One very large typewriter clicking away. Some sort of publishing press and printing machines in the back, and people scurrying around making ends meet. How would you like to do this?
Just before we go in, what exactly are you doing here? Just so I know what I am supposed to be doing.
So, okay, full disclosure now, don't tell the others. I'm in a bit of debt. And these people have very kindly, instead of letting me have a bigger loan or more time, have reduced the time. So, I would like to very kindly, keyword kindly, and I just look at him, ask for a new publishing date. Now, they know who I am. They should, by the end of it, know who you are and what you're capable of. And I count you as a very strong employee. It's in this scenario. You don't have to work for me forever, but I really like your dynamic, and I would actually hire you in the future. So I think what we do is we take the bear trap, right? And I sling this motherfucker on my back. Oh, sorry. Are we allowed to swear on this stream?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, because I can also do this, mother, and then
That's fantastic.
keep going with that.
Sometimes censoring.
I think you should do that just for crashes, and the rest of us just cuss.
Oh god damn!
Somehow that makes
Like
it funny.
that.
Yeah.
Yes. Now I have a little button that lets me bleep what I'm thinking sometimes.
It's just editorial.
Yes, it's live editing. So yes, we'll take the bear trap. We'll take the big thing, and then we'll just go in and talk to them. And can you rub some like dirt on my face? Make me look like I've been out and seen some, and then go with that.
So whilst you're talking, the two men who have been standing outside of the publishing house this whole time, one of them who has been holding like a mug of coffee has gone inside, and the other one.
No friends, we're good. And I look at the other one and I'm like, we're not gonna have trouble, are we?
I hope not.
Okay, cool. And there's no trouble. And I just walk past him.
Good luck, I guess. And he continues smoking. Inside the publishing house, you very much know your way around here. You've been in here a couple times before. So you make your way very easily through the publishing house, through the printing room. People look absolutely abashed as you walk through. Just the audacity at which you move has just captivated this entire room. And Alexander, behind you, people shrink out of your way. As you reach the back office, the door is already open to reveal the head of publishing for this house, the chief editor. Sort of sat behind his oak island-like desk, stacked with books and paperwork. There's a very large, burly man stood behind him, and he just seems to be writing away at a ledger. And as he looks up, his wire-rimmed spectacles perching on the end of his nose, he pushes them back up the bridge of a very spindly, aquiline-looking nose and says, "Oh, yes, Mr. Curio."
Oh, you know who I am. Cut. I know it's always good to see you, Lucius.
As it is to see you, how have you been keeping?
I've been very well, thank you. So, this is Alexander Kruger, and he's helping me on the new book. Now, isn't that lovely?
That is very, very good to hear. I do hope
Yes.
you're going to keep to your deadline this time.
Oh, well, actually, about that, that's why I'm here. So, if it's not too much trouble, I've been booked for a bit of an expedition there, and it's the due date is almost time within. When I'm away. So, I've got so much written, but I really want to get it polished and in that good state before I, release it. So I would like to have a bit of an extension, if anything. And if it's not too much trouble, Kruger would love to have some words about, co-opting a little chapter in the book as his form of, help and payment. I think it would be a lovely collaboration and still keeping the Crassius Curio on the main credit, but, featuring Kruger.
And where is the manuscript now?
Oh, it's back in at home. It's in a state where it's kind of everywhere. It's not bound together yet. And it's
The
probably
conversation is simple. Does he get his extinction?
Well, you have once again brought me absolutely nothing to show for it. You've lied to me before. How can I trust
I have never lied to you. I've just given you the talking of a, can I have +2 manipulation when lying or cheating? Can I use that right now?
Yeah, so he's gonna be like, so what exactly what can you tell me to explain to me why you deserve this deadline? Why should I trust you to honor it?
So, okay, I've done this whole lead-up thing, and then there's this expedition has come up, and I've gone, this is like the excellent culmination of everything I've been searching for and looking for in this new book. So, I think these final chapters would do with some really, on the ground, working hard, blue-collar, experience. And I think that would go fantastically in this book. There is a different bit. It's a bit of a tangent on some of the other stuff I was writing, admittedly, but it will be good. The last book sold so well, and people remember me for it. So I thought it would be, that's the way to go.
I see. Well, in that case, if it is as you say, and this expedition is only going to make the manuscript more marketable, that's all we can really ask for. Please make me an empathy manipulation test with your buff and with an extra dice for Alexander's help.
Okay.
I want to stay. I want you to succeed, so I don't want you to fail. But I want you to pavel, so I get to pummel these people with a book.
Look, whatever works, man. I'm
psyched either way.
Can I just have a little sidebar with my associate for a second?
Yeah, sure. Take away.
Okay, so I don't really care if they die or not, but let's get the money first, and then let's go with that. Alternatively, if there's no publisher, there's just no contract, so that will get me out of everything, and then I can just go sell it to someone else. But with this check, I've got. Am I going down manipulation, empathy?
Yes, quite. Mm-hmm.
So I've got a 2 there and a +2 manipulation. So is that 4d6?
Empathy, you have 3. I have it down as.
Oh, this may not have updated from our session 0. Okay,
that's fine.
So is that 5 + 1 for Kruger?
Quite. That's exactly right. Do you have your manipulation buff as well, +2? That would take you up to 7.
Would it? Oh. Well, manipulation's +2, +3 is. I thought it'd be 6.
Let me have a look. So your manipulation is 2, your empathy is 3. That brings you up to a pool of 5. Alexander's help brings you up to a pool of 6, and then your deceptive +2 manipulation when lying or cheating. That gives you an extra 2.
So 8 in total, yeah.
8. Okay, I need an extra dice, but that's fine. And what am I looking for?
Any 6s are successes.
I've got 1 6.
Fantastic. Right. Let's have a roll for him.
You said there was a giant. There was a big man, right?
There is a large bear of a man there.
Yeah, I look up at him and I'm like, yes, he's always there. Always just a shadow over that man.
Warned me about, but fair.
You all sort of take this sidebar and then come back to Lucius, who's sort of scrawling in the ledger. And as you sit back down, he says, "Fine, you get 2 additional weeks. I expect an additional chapter of 6,000 words. Or
You're good for that, Krugs.
more.
Yeah, that's your big break there, Krugs. I don't have to do more
And-
work that way as well. As
and-
your
Will be
work.
the 3rd book written about my exploits.
I
No, well,
expect
you're
it-
doing the writing on this one. Sorry, go on.
Oh.
It's okay. I expect it also in a timely manner. If not,
Yes, of course.
further sanctions will be imposed as per our guidelines.
What can I expect from these sanctions?
You will know when you receive your letter.
Oh, just a letter? Okay, we're good. I'm out. And I leave.
We leave.
Yep, cool. You leave. All right. Feeling quite accomplished, you make your way to the train station to await your friends. Can both of you please make a note that you have gained an advantage to your next empathy and manipulation test? So whenever you next make empathy manipulation, you get an additional +2. You're now on a pool of 10. Have fun, buddy. Now we will have a move on to Dr. Anki. You have moved to the journalist's haven, the Olympus. You can smell this place from a mile off as you approach. Sort of a musk of cigar smoke, sort of the fresh ink. As you move towards it, you see bustling hallways of people talking and making the latest bread as they go about their daily lives. There's a printing press in the back. A few very voracious young people running around with notepads and clipboards. One of them stops you as you approach and says, hello. Can we help you here at Olympus today?
Why, yes. I'm hoping to find if there have been any publications made with regards to the township of Mölle lately.
Oh, yeah, easy. Right this way. Honestly,
you
I wish
very
people
much.
would have a similarly easy request. We've got Lost published on Molly, especially in the recent years. It's kind of been going up in the world, if you know what I mean. She does sort of lead you on through the hallways, talking excitedly, and leads you into sort of a reading room type situation and begins scanning through the periodicals. Well, sort of I can help you find it if you'd like. What specifically are you looking for in regards to the town?
I believe there was relatively recently, although I sometimes get the years wrong, I'm sorry, opened a grand hotel of sorts by the seaside.
Oh, quite right, yes. Anki, please make me a logic and learning test.
Oh, excellent. Something I may be able to be competent in. Logic and learning. Let us find out. Pavel count 4.
Oh, no.
I am more than happy to push.
Go for it.
Pavel count still remains on 4. One
Okay.
success.
All right. 1 success. Fantastic. Okay. As you sort of scan through the periodicals, this young woman goes, "Oh, right, here you go." Hands you a pamphlet-looking type scenario. It looks like it was a sort of conglomeration of publications that have been written about the local area. And it reads, the head title is quite salacious for the beginning of this publication. It says, "The Sin at Molly." And the publication reads, "For the past 2 years, the remote fishing village of Molly in the northwestern Scan has been torn apart by conflict over the hotel that has opened in the area. Tourists, mainly Danish and German, are encouraged to engage in mixed gender bathing at beaches, something the locals are very much against. Our reporter, Elias Ragnar, has visited the so-called Heart of Sin in Northern Europe, a small community at the tip of a rocky area known as the Hill in the south of Sweden. Here in Molly, Katarina Johnson runs a successful seaside hotel frequented by local tourism and tourism from far away. Katarina tells us, here on the hill, Europe's cultural and intellectual elite meet for refreshing bathes and relaxing walks in spectacular landscapes. My business is about to lead Molly into the next century. Many local representatives have been less than positive about the hotel, especially Katarina's decision to let women and men and those in betwixt frequent the same beaches at the same time. Chaplain Algot Kranvisk describes it as a very unfortunate and ill-advised project that is causing strife to the local population and hurting the local fishing industry, which can no longer operate as it has done. Whilst the fisherman's wife, Anna Svensson, says she is forced to see everyone running around in suspenders and corsets, and it's a reminder of everyone's mortality, and it's sinful and it sucks. In any case, reporter Elias is enjoying a cold bath in the crisp waters of the North Sea, and the view on the hill is spectacular. And that is where the periodical ends. And it's as you sort of read this that the anger begins to bubble up again for you, because, god damn it, it's another case of people with too much money and too much time muscling in and being where they shouldn't and just making a bloody mess that you, once again, have to come along and clear up and probably get hurt in the process. And it's all just a little aggravating. And you're going to take the angry condition for me as you become infuriated.
I can confirm to that. It is a wonderful place to be angry at.
Yep.
Well, once more, you take us somewhere I've actually been for summer vacation.
God damn it. Again, this is not my decision here. Right, anyway, so yeah, you sort of feel this bubble up, and the young person who is with you sort of says, well, put it back when you're done, I suppose. Is there anything else you'd like to ask about the township? I'm sure I can give it a go. Not been myself, though.
Well, this might be a bit of an offhanded thing, but I hear they have had some odd... Essentially, one of my friends is very much into game and hunting, and I've heard of unseasonable boar activity in the area, if that is something that has come by the newspaper.
Let me have a think. Melissa, you've heard anything about boars in the seaside town by the hotel? And sort of another young person pops around and goes, no, Marie, no, I haven't heard it. But like, you may have to talk to Patrick about it. And she sort of says, oh, no, I don't think we have, love. Sorry.
That is all fine and dandy.
Well, wish you luck all the same. Enjoy. Pack your swimsuit.
Oh, certainly. I own one of those.
Oh, good. It'd be awful shame if you didn't. Sort of as you leave, a little taken aback, you may take an advantage to your logic and learning tests as you go and regroup with your friends at the train station. Father Pavel.
Where does one find swimsuit? Help!
Where does it? Just type it, like furiously yelling out in the streets, just give me a swimsuit.
So I know a lot of our stuff got stolen, but do we
Yes.
still have stuff in the occult archive and library, or is it
You
all
do.
been? So yeah, if I could have a look in there for anything that relates to any sort of boar type creatures or anything along those lines. That.
Yep. Make me a logic and learning test.
Cool. One success.
Cool, fantastic. As you sort of scan the library and the archive here, once again, sort of when Linnaeus took everything, he seemingly took really only what he could carry, which has meant that considerable knowledge has indeed remained. And you managed to find sort of these texts buried in the older books and periodicals of the library. And in the archive, you see it stacked in a manila folder next to a large skull with sort of it looks like a boar's skull of sorts. There are various carvings ingrained into the skull itself that look like maybe symbols of warding. You're not entirely sure. It looks like what Ingrid would call a warding symbol, but you haven't really paid that much attention. You tend to just tune it out. But you do realize after your research that what you are looking for is likely a glosson. It is a huge boar-like creature, red eyes, and with enough sleuthing, you do realize that in the footnotes of one of such periodical, it does say that you can distract a glosson by throwing apples on the floor, because it will then eat the apples and momentarily forget about you.
Okay.
You can take an advantage to your next logic and learning test specifically also regarding Glosson.
Can I also, as I'm in the house, go to the sort of pantry area to acquire some apples and a bag, if
Of
possible?
course you can. Easy peasy. I will make a note. Fantastic. A note has been made. Now, Ingrid, we come back to you as you wander the streets of Uppsala here. You know where you're headed. You make your way through the winding streets, back through the city centre, back where Teddy's office is, back through another street, a side alley, down a long forgotten underpass under a bridge between two houses, and make your way to the furthest suburb, where you find a house that smells oddly like burning heather, perhaps, and some sort of tincture that has no name, but definitely makes it sparks more sensations than it really should. Somehow you feel it in your fingertips, and you watch as you see the opening to the basement of what you know to be the Cenotapht's Hearth occult shop opening in the side alley leading down into the basement of one such house, where the smells and sounds are wafting up from. And we will resolve this after the break, when Ingrid goes to meet her new friends at the Cenotapht's Hearth. That should be good fun. But for now, we will go and take a good quick 10. We will be back. Do not go anywhere. And after the break, we'll be having a chat with our lovely Matt Brown here about what he does, about Split the Party, and all the shindigs he's been up to and all that fun stuff. And also giving away a copy of VAESEN, which I'm really excited because more people get to play VAESEN and this fun, dumb system. And I'm super hyped. But yes, so
That's
thank you all
great
for
so
watching.
far.
Yay, I'm glad. I love running it. It's big, campy fun. So
it
yeah,
is.
we will see you all in a quick 10. Don't go nowhere. Bye.
Hi, everybody. I'm George.
And I'm Bob. We're the Shipping Goblins from Beetle and Grips. Today, we're going to talk about the amazing Map Vault Collection. And with the Map Vault Collection, you get a bunch of gorgeous two-sided maps, all scaled for standard minis.
Yeah, get yours now for the Map Vault collection from Beetle and Grim, and all the players at your table will be revved up and hyper because the only thing they'll be able to say is...
Yeah, go ahead and do it.
Zoinks!
Yeah, do it again.
Zoinks!
Hello?
Who do you think you are?
Yes, Mr. Lillard.
You're just some goblin.
Yes, sir.
You can't just go off and use my
It's your
voice
thing.
like that. I have rights.
Completely. We just thought...
Wait.
Okay.
I'm gonna take this right to the
yes, sir.
beetle. Hey, Grim.
Thank you, sir.
What happened?
Matthew Lillard watches our show!
We are live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again to the Mythic North. Thank you all for joining us. It's a pleasure to read you all. Yes. I'm once again joined by my fantastic players as we dive into Mythic North. But before we dive into any of that, we have a fantastic guest with us today, the glorious Matt Brown. We're going to be having a small chat with him about what he does. But before we dive into all that, I have a book to give one of yous. So, to decide our winner today, in chat, we're going to have a small competition. Post in chat what you think one of Crassius's book titles will have been in the past. What do you think this man has published and what was it called? And we will pick our favorite after the interview is done. So, that being said, Matt, you work for / with Split the Party. Can you tell us a little bit more about your channel and what you guys do?
Yeah, so Split the Party is a bit of a combo channel. We have a self-titled D&D series that I DM for. It's basically just the home game that turns show. And we also create like other TTRPG one-shots series and comedy and gaming content. For example, at Christmas, I dressed up as one of the D&D NPCs, Jimmy, and he's basically a big blue wizard. So I was painted head to toe in blue, and I tortured, keyword, my party in real life and basically made them do a bunch of silly challenges as the Christmas video.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So you guys have a lot of fun stuff coming up recently, don't you? Could you tell us a little bit more about the upcoming things and latest season?
Yeah, so we're on a bit of a season 4 break at the moment because we just had some news about one of our friends doing some, like one of the cast doing some cool stuff with the TV network that we're going to try and use to springboard a bit more. But hush hush.
Secrets.
But yeah, no, we basically filmed a bunch of things. Like we filmed a Kids on Brooms, we filmed a Kids on Bikes, but in like an 80s slasher horror kind of vibe. So we're going to try and really push that aesthetic. It's like a last night of camp kind of thing.
Amazing.
We've also got some like intro to D&D kind of like how-to videos for people who want to like learn and get into D&D. It's all getting edited at the moment. And you know, just some other general like get to know us style content as well. That's just the YouTube side.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Is there sort of anything amongst that you would say is like your passion project? Is there anything about that you're super excited about?
I would say that something I'm most excited about personally for me is we've started trying to get into the streaming side because we've always loved the idea of streaming, but we're more of a pre-recorded channel. So I've been speaking with Leia, who's been on this lovely channel.
We love Leia.
Leia Robertson. And we've basically co-created with Sean Sunday a TTRPG breakfast show and painting stream that we're calling Good Morning RPG. And hopefully shortly after next week, which is Jasper's Game Week, we're going to try and launch that. And we're going to have cool. like a casual breakfast show with like an RPG flavor. So it's like, what are you playing this week? Have a cool guest. And then on the second day that we stream for the week, we will do like a painting stream. So we'll try and have other painters on. Leia can teach me things, and I can very much still be bad at painting.
Are you playing / running on Jasper's?
Yeah, I'm running 2 games during Jasper's Games Week, and then for the Australian side, and members of Split the Party are basically on at least one game a day for each of the Jasper's game days. So if you want to see any of us, please hit up the Twitch and view our silly shenanigans. I'm running a game on what's Australian Monday at 12 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. No, 12:30 p.m. And then again on the Saturday, I think at 3:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So I'll be doing a couple one-shots with some really cool voice actors.
I'm playing on a Tuesday game on that.
I saw a couple badges were going around. Are you with like Sean Sunday DMing or any of that? Who are you with? I'd love to know.
The DM is down as Haggard Clint on Discord. I don't know who that is.
I think I know Haggard. Haven't met them personally, but a lot of the Australian creators, we've got like a little creatives Discord. We're trying to like really get that community going a lot more, and it's really wholesome. So if Haggard is in there, I would love to see what he's going to do.
Fantastic, yeah. So you also do like DM for hire work. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I do, yes. So I'm actually a professional DM, and that pays the rent in my day to day. I have listings on Fiverr, Start Playing Games, and also a local company called just Dungeon Master for Hire. But I pretty much just like keep my DMs open in case anyone ever wants to just go like, hey, I want to play a game. We don't have a DM. What can we do? And I'll be like, you want to play a one shot and go from there? You want to do a running campaign? And I just finished up a Curse of Strahd on Fridays that has just since not only continued, we're doing some one shots and then going into Rime of the Frostmaiden. But
amazing.
It's a surreal thing that came, like one of the silver linings for me that came out of COVID, that I basically went, I lost my job. What can I do? I'm kind of doing this DMing thing. Let's just push really hard into that. And that way I can pay my rent and also do really cool content creation things on top of that.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for having a chat to us, Matt. That's awesome. Everybody in chat, go and follow Matt Brown on Twitter. Go and look into Split the Party and all their cool stuff. They are 100% worth a look. They are fantastic people doing fantastic things.
Thank you so much.
Right. We will now have a look into our answers for the questions of what past titles has our beloved Crassius published. Stacey, what have we got?
Oh my goodness, we've got some stinkers today. Right. So we've got Life and Times of Me and My Best Friend Gun.
Cool.
34 things you never knew about Nacken, but were afraid to ask, and rightfully so. A traveller's guide to river bathing and violins. Bear traps, the gun for our feet. And the curious incident of the barbarian, the bog witch, and the town council.
Oh my god! Right, I want to read that one. Who is that one? Yeah.
I've also written the actual title if anyone can get something close as well. Well, do we want to choose the winner and then I'll do that?
You've also got From Fae to Fiends, a dating guide for the supernatural seductor.
Oh, I love that. I very much love that. What to do when you're not...
Yeah,
okay.
And what not to do when you're leaving town in a hurry.
That is fantastic as well. I think we're going to go with Alan Williamson, the curious incident of the barbarian, the bog witch, and the town council, because that is beautiful and I need that in my life.
That's basically us right now.
Exactly. Matt, what was the actual title?
Sticking close to Crassius's true character. I don't know if it's come too much on the stream, but I called it Sinful Encounters, VAESEN Up Close.
Wonderful. Oh my god. Right,
that feels like it has centerfold.
Right, thank you everyone. That was phenomenal, and thank you for the true title of exactly what Crassius has been publishing there, Matt. That is beautiful. We will now bring ourselves back into our story here today, as our beloved Ingrid makes her way through Uppsala and towards familiar streets, as the scent of burning sage greets her as she approaches the cenotaf's hearth and descends into the basement, announced only by a small chalkboard sign nailed into the wall, giving the name of the place and the almost visceral, tangible smells that waft up from the basement. As you go down, it's very familiar. Cobblestone on the ceilings, cobblestone on the floor. Walls are a mess, just lined with shelves of various tinctures and tonics and curios, bits of things alive, dead, and in between in various states. As two people lounge on a desk at the back of the room, kind of very attractive looking young man, maybe about 25-ish, slightly pointed ears under a mop of curly hair, slightly flushed cheeks, very well dressed, very dapper, slightly too long, almost uncomfortably tall. He looks like he's been stretched, and sort of a younger woman who looks almost like she could be this man's twin. Her curls are sort of waist length, tied back into a ponytail as she sits reading. She pays almost no attention to you as you walk in, but the young man stands and says, "Ah, Ingrid, friend, how are you?"
I am good. I have been sent on another journey. This time we are chasing large pig.
A very large
A very large pig. What do you think would help me in my journey of chasing a very large pig?
Let me think. Isn't that fun? This man who you know to be Ezekiel turns to Emmeline, the lady behind the counter, and says, "Do we have anything bovine in recently, Emmeline? Do we have anything of that variety?" Emmeline says, check the side shelves. I'm busy." And goes back to her book. Ezekiel says, "Fine, suit yourself." Goes over to the shelving and begins to rifle his way through. He says, "Would you mind giving me a hand, dear? If you sort of go down that shelf down there, just sort of concentrate intently, and you'll want to move the skull ever so slightly to the left, then sort your way past the 3 amethysts. Maybe spin around 3 times and spit on the floor. Something might fall out. Could you please make me your occult roll, which I think we established was your empathy and inspiration, or empathy observation?"
I think it's empathy observation.
Okay.
Let me go. Ah, that didn't go well. Let's do the rest of them.
No way.
Am I adding to the
paddled
Pavel
it.
count?
Yes, I paddled it. I
Oh,
don't
no.
think I've rolled very many. I've rolled 1 dice as a 6 today.
Would you like to push your luck?
100%, please.
Fantastic.
I'm
Okay.
already like two in, 2 down, and I haven't even started yet.
Yeah. All right. Push that luck.
Just so you're aware, if you do look up bovine, that will come back as wrong.
It's cows.
Bovine is cow.
I got 1 success.
Yes. Thank you, Jared.
Sorry.
1 success.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. You rifle your way past all these sort of things. You sort of make your way through the shelving, you have a perusal through some of the books, various things like that. There are some old tinctures and stuff. You sort of uncork one of the bottles, give it a sniff. Not sure what that is. You're not sure you want to know either. You put it back. And you do sort of make your way through until you find what seems to be sort of powdered, keratin-esque powder sort of thing. It's sort of a white mush, sort of take it between your fingers. Think, maybe that's something. You get the idea that from looking around this place, any sort of supernatural boar-like creatures are creatures of vengeance. For anything of the sort. You sort of scan through all the various supernatural books and tomes here with the help of Ezekiel, who points you in the right direction, and together you sort of hash out that what you're most likely looking for is a glosson, and these beasts usually only come about when certain rituals have been performed in a place, and that is when Ezekiel sort of snaps his fingers and says, "Aha! Wait! No, this is why it seems familiar to me. We had someone exactly like you, my dear. We had someone like you come along before and ask us this exact thing. I think I can find his notes. Would you be interested in reading them?" "Oh, fantastic. Let me have a look." And he does sort of dig around in the chest and produce a sort of, looks like a ripped part of a journal almost. It looks to be like something from a member of the society. It has sort of a signature that you recognize as being from the book of names that you got from Carl Linnaeus' study.
Ooh.
And the entry goes as follows. "Comprehensive studies of the region have unearthed a folktale regarding the genesis of the mountain itself, the hill at Morley, where farmers and fishermen believe the hill where the lighthouse is positioned to be the creation of and thoroughly imbued with supernatural energies. Supposedly, these focuses cause the ground to rise from the flat clay like volcanic rock from the sea. It is said that there are caves and ravines where supernatural energies yet dwell, waiting for humans and animals to be used as vessels for their manifestation into the world. It is also said that a family blessed with the site has watched over the hill for centuries to prevent its energies from taking physical form and indulging in all sorts of destructive urges. My personal studies failed to locate the family in question on which the myth of the so-called hill man is based, or any form of VAESEN. It did, however, identify strong tendencies towards the sublime and abstract, and a strange aptitude for seeing the unseen and creating the uncreated. It seems to me that this part of the south should be strictly monitored. Perhaps a smaller headquarters should be established in the area.
Ooh, exciting.
And Ezekiel gives it to you and just says, "You can just take that as a freebie. I'm feeling nice today."
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Tuck it in.
As we both know, I have yet to actually claim my prize from you for what I sold you last time.
This is true.
You also have yet to use it.
And this is also true.
I am so looking forward to see what you do with that particular little tincture.
I'm sure it will be...
Have fun.
Yes, fun.
Bye.
As I'm doing like over and over again, I'm just like out of the door, like
As you leave, once again, sort of you watch his face as you go, and he smiles and waves. He's very charming and polite. And as he does this, the film of his eyes peels back ever so slightly, like a sort of a third nictic membrane, and reveals the gold pupilless eyes underneath that stare at you as he gives you this charming grin, and you back out of this cellar. All of you regroup at the train station of Uppsala after all of your various journeys, ready and willing to get on the road.
Okay, so I bought iced coffees for everyone. I didn't know who ordered one. I figured I'd just grab one for everyone. You know, that change you gave, the cash you gave me, very handy. I got this. And I pull out the gun. And then I was like, look, Kruger and I also stopped by the McCrassies on the way over, and I got everyone nuggets as well.
Yeah, you sort of hand out like these impromptu breakfasts. It's maybe like about noon at this point. It's, you know, it's like a weird brunch. Sort of to partake of it as you wait for the train.
They said it was chicken, but I think it's all potato at this point.
Probably all potato. Yeah, you know, it's Uppsala. They're trying. Yeah. The darkness, as you're all sort of standing here, despite the fact that it is only really midday, is lying very heavily on the city at this point. Light from the station's gas lamps illuminate the area around you quite nicely. When the train rolls in, its cars are covered in snow, and upon boarding, you find that compartments are not even heated. The only refuge from the cold is in the dining car, and virtually all the passengers gather there. A count by the name of Christian Garanth purchases the entire train's stock of punch and generously offers it free of charge as all of you sort of partake in the merriment. After a couple of hours, the mood turns extremely merry. Someone takes out an accordion and people spontaneously begin to dance between the tables until the conductor finally has had enough and silences the car by dropping a silver platter on the floor and announcing that the music may only be played in the rear cars where the animals are kept. In the afternoon, you reach the town of Hillersborg in southern Sweden. It is getting dark, and there is a sleepy atmosphere in the dining car. After disembarking in this town's train station, you learn that your connection to Höganäs is more than an hour late. You pass the time wandering through the empty streets of the city. Freezing gales sweep in from the sea and make their way through your clothing. Once you finally get moving, you are more than a little late. An old steam locomotive pulls the cars along, up the coast, up the slopes of the hill, and finally arrives in the location. From here, you travel by stagecoach through a spectacular landscape, which you can barely glimpse through the impenetrable darkness. You reach the south train station of Morley, tired, hungry, and cold. It's probably about 1 a.m. at this point. The coachman drops you off at a place marked with a black painted post. And as you look around, you can see ahead the mixture of buildings that make up the town of Morley. An odd collection indeed. Directly beside the station, there are buildings that look as old as the port itself, crowding close to the harbour and quiet in the dark of the night. Further to the north along the bay, there are brightly coloured and wooden constructed newer builds that sit further along, in front of a crescent beach, including one gigantic, beautiful building of well-crafted wood and bright paint, in stark contrast to the buildings directly in front of you. The building is announced by the large painted words ornately swirled on its facade, the Seaside Hotel Molly. Further north than that is an old-looking church with a tall steeple and a sizable graveyard that stretches back until it reaches a steep hill, the northernmost landmark. The hill's base is obscured by darkness, and at the very top looms a lighthouse, its sallow, dirty orange beacon straining to throw its light out across the landscape and barely denting the darkness. Snow cakes your boots, and it is deathly quiet.
It's a bit sleepy, isn't it?
I'm half tempted to visit upon the person who told me to bring a swimsuit Furious Vengeance, but for now let's find the rooms, shall we?
Wait,
It's not
you
exactly
own,
cold, but sure.
you own a swimsuit?
We are going to the hotel.
Okay.
Wait, tell me more about the swimsuit.
As you're walking away, and Ingrid clings to Dr. Anki's arm, trying to get her to give her answers. You move away from the stagecoach station. The sky seems to darken even further and cloud over even further, almost out of nowhere. Far ahead, the meager illumination of the lighthouse seems to dim even more as a thick fog descends, seemingly out of the ether. Some of the gas lamps nearby bravely flicker against the chill and sputter out as you walk by, deepening the shadows even further. Can all of you please roll me a logic and vigilance test?
As a question.
As an answer.
Let's see if they match. What state is the moon in? Is it full or is it not?
New moon.
New moon. Okay.
New moon.
And secondly, has Ingrid, on our train ride, told us about what she learned?
No.
Didn't think so. You're basic. Right.
Darling, Ingrid is anything, everything in fact, but basic.
Not wrong.
With my, is it vigilance logic?
Yes, quite.
I mean,
So I've got a blank there, so I'm just going off the base score.
Yes, that would just be your attribute in that case.
So does that mean I just have 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Father
I will
Pavel's
do.
not wearing a collar anymore, so.
Oh, I got a success.
Okay, how many pebbles?
I got one
I
success.
got one success.
I got one success.
I have pavelled.
6
Oh, dear.
pebbles.
There's the Pavel.
There's the Pavel. We gotta have somebody at least representing it. You know what I mean? Okay. Those of you who got one success or more, as you move away, you can almost imperceptibly, just on the edge of your hearing, make out a noise out there in the night. It's not loud, but it's present, almost like wet cloth being torn asunder. As you hear this, you look up the road slightly to see a man walking away from you, leaning on a heavily gnarled, tall wooden staff. As you notice him, he turns into a side alley and disappears from view.
Anyone else see that?
Yes, it was creepy.
The ominous
Yeah.
figure.
I think the locals don't like us.
Do you mean the ominous figure?
Yeah, he's local.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that. No, I didn't.
Oh, he was tearing some wet cloth or something, and then he just walked straight into the alleyway. Maybe he's just hanging up washing.
At this time of night,
In
in
the
this
snow.
weather,
Oh, true, it is dreadful.
Interestingly, when you saw the man, he had one hand leaning on his staff, the other hand seemingly empty. No cloth in sight.
Oh,
Why don't
And
we
the
go
s-
say hello? Come on,
And
let's go.
the sound.
I'm
is
afraid
still
the man
there.
had a wardrobe malfunction, but Ingrid is already on her way.
hey,
Ah.
Krug, I think we got something here.
He turns and follows. Not actually having seen this, he's just like, yeah, I'm not gonna let on that I didn't see it though. And I
Get
follow.
the bear
course.
trap ready.
Ingrid's gonna pick up her little
Bear
case,
trap ready.
Get a little
Yeah,
feet
just put it
down.
on a rope, and then we'll throw it if we need to.
I'm
As
the villain
you-
from Cabin in the Woods.
As you walk towards the noise here, you are making your way towards the hotel, sort of towards the north here, and you turn the final corner to see the Hotel Morley Seaside Resort looming above you. And as you do this, you begin to see sort of speckles in the snow. At first, you think maybe they're perhaps dye. Maybe someone spilled something, or at least you hope it's dye, but the hope is very brief before you are proved wrong. The chill prevented the stench of death from giving you any further warning. Red light! But the scene is graphic enough to speak for itself. The corpse on the floor is almost unrecognizable as once having been human at all. Guts, blood, bone, and fragments of viscera, a red mess, exposed entrails making up whatever used to be this person's abdomen, jaggedly spill from navel to jaw. They appeared to once have been an older woman, perhaps 70, wearing a very elegant-looking dress, all black clothing, her once stylish fur wrap drenched in blood and glistening in the fitful lamplight. Can everyone please roll me a fear test, either your logic or your empathy, whichever is better, and tell me the result.
Hey, Al.
Hello?
Does this fear test involve mortal human bodies?
Quite!
Huzzah! Applying advantage of being jaded to death.
Just because Kruger is a stalwart man, can you remind me what a fear test is?
That is empathy or logic.
Yes. That just okay.
Yes, just empathy
Cool.
or logic.
Yep.
I've got 3 in that, I think.
I straight up Pavled it.
Pavel count 7.
Can I push my luck?
I
Not on
failed.
a fear test, no.
No, because either way I'm getting it, aren't I? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, did you Pavel?
I-
Alexander? Okay, current Pavel.
I failed.
Okay.
Oh, we're all terrified. Oh, it's gross.
Oh
I'm not.
dear.
Except.
So you think
except-
that big man's from the book house?
All of you, those of you who failed the fear test, you look at this torn apart body and the nature of it terrifies you. The absolute mess that this person has been left in, completely undignified, sprawled across the floor, is horrifying, and it strikes you to your very core. It reminds you that you are, above all, mortal.
Not
Everyone
again.
who failed, please take the hopeless condition as you have this realization and this horrible sinking feeling.
I has a question.
I may have an answer.
I took a condition at the shop, and I now have 3 conditions.
Would that tick you over the line into broken?
No. This one that I've just received now is my 3rd.
Okay, cool. Right.
Does that mean one more and I'm broken?
Yeah.
Ah!
Luckily,
What
you-
happened? What happens when you're broken?
Broken is essentially this system's incapacitated or zero health. Broken is a nasty, nasty thing where I will roll on a table, essentially, to give you a crippling injury. Your friends then have a certain amount of time to resolve that for you, or it may cause your imminent demise. Or, well, at the same time, giving you either an insight or a defect, which may or may not become permanent.
So Ingrid literally just looked at a body and nearly died.
Basically, with the way conditions work, it is relating to your mental health and your physical health. So the amount of conditions that she has taken regarding her mental health would mean that she is now extremely shaken and very, very, very concerned. The amount
Essentially
of
going to a nervous breakdown.
yes, exactly.
Oh boy.
Being broken on your mental track essentially means you are little more than a babbling wreck. You are extremely upset. You need to take some time away from everything. It is overwhelming.
Oh man.
It is not fun. Yes, so that being said, Ingrid, you are not feeling so good. Dr. Anki, there is a body in front of you. Would you like to do something about that?
Oh, certainly. Being not a gibbering wreck, but rather just pissed off throughout the entire journey at this point. Curio, your stick. I now have a stick. I will poke
my
the dead body
cane?
with his cane.
Yeah, go for it. I don't need it. It's like pizzazz.
Yes,
Wonderful.
the
Do you
medical
have to do
professional.
that? Do you have to poke it like that?
Something
Okay.
about it really speaks to me on a core level of disgust.
Wonderful. Now shut up while I examine.
Okay. Please roll me your logic and medicine, Dr.
Making
Anki.
friends with Dr. Anki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to have been
I'd like
told
to
to
think
shut
we
up
are.
at least like 3 times before she considers you a proper friend.
Anki
Yes.
isn't. Yeah, never mind. What did you say?
Logic and medicine, please, my dear.
Logic, medicine, and would the medical equipment come into play? Yeah.
Quite.
Wonderful. Puts us up at 10.
I'm still eating
Pavel.
my. Oh wait, no, the nugs are long gone now.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah, sadly, those nugs are history.
It'd be
You
so
don't even
cold.
don't even have the comfort of a compressed potato.
I've saved the potato cake. We're fine.
Dr. Anki, how many successes?
I rolled 2 successes. The stick was very
Ooh.
helpful.
Lovely. As you sort of set your medical bag down and start your analysis, the dark night of this township here provides you enough cover from any curious eyes that you can go about it uninterrupted, whilst giving you enough lamplight to see by. The death, it appears, occurred quickly, at least. I'm going to go red light again for this one. Knocking them back and possibly unconscious, at which point they were horrendously gored. The markings are akin to those caused by a gigantic horn or tusks or bristles, much like those of maybe a boar or a deer. The wound is deep enough almost to split the victim in half. Many of the entrails have been eaten, and it is this specific detail that sort of sticks out in your mind. As you think back to what you sort of know of what you might be facing from what maybe Pavel has told you on the way over here, you recall that often the specific death of those gored by a glosson is one that this specific way of being killed is usually reserved for those people who have perpetrated the magic that would summon such a creature. So this specific hunt down and murder type scenario is akin to that sort of behavior from these creatures.
Sorry, Glosson hunts down the thing that summoned it, or it has been summoned to murder this person?
Essentially, it will have taken place that a glosson is summoned by a specific ritual being cast in an area where a ritual to summon a glosson has already been popped. So an area has been prepared to essentially bamboozle the next magic users who come there, because the next magic users who come there will go about their ritual, and then the glosson will appear and be like, rah!
Right.
You activated my trap card.
Yeah.
It is literally a trap card, yeah.
How long would it last? How long would the glosson stay around for? Is that known knowledge?
You're not sure. Yeah.
Mm.
But you've never heard of one of them disappearing on their own.
Okay.
So it is still around.
Ingrid's gonna sit in the snow.
I may have missed, Elle. So I will simply ask. How fresh did you say it seemed? Or did you say?
It is very fresh. It is very fresh. The way that this body has been simply left here, the way that the blood is still hot enough to stop it being completely covered by the snowfall, an hour tops.
Ingrid?
No, I don't. What? Why do you keep poking it with a stick?
I'm done poking it with a stick. It is time for us to leave. It is still around.
Can you wash the blood
cannot
off
sit.
before I have it back?
You already have it back.
Oh. I just look at it, and I
There is snow on the
wipe it.
ground.
Yeah, I guess there
hadn't
is.
noticed.
Dr. Anki, as you sort of have been going through this as well, you find a number of items on her person, including a number of sort of library cards and bits and bobs, identifying her as one Olga Moran. And you also find a room key with a tag note reading 203 on it. Another interesting thing about the body is the way it is a centralized blood spatter all around all around the person who once was Olga, but there is a trail of blood that is leading away from her.
Are there tracks?
Would you like to try and find out?
Yes.
Fantastic. Could you make me your tracking roll with your bloodhound ability, please?
Yes.
Oh no. Did someone say Olga?
Yes.
Okay.
Come on, Vigilance, be cool. Why are you not being cool?
Here's to hoping that Ogo is not a nickname.
Yes, you did very much hear Linnea also refer to the person you were supposed to be meeting as Olga.
I double-checked that my preventative medicine is loaded.
2 successes for Kruger.
Fantastic. You have a look around this body and you instantly go into consummate professional mode, right? So like you blank away any emotions or anything that may have rattled you. You get to work. You notice that as you follow these tracks, that seems to be spatters of this ink-like blood spatter leading away from the body, and you follow it north along sort of through thoroughfares and back alleys. And you notice.
Sorry.
Hello.
You said it was snowing, so there are no tracks, like there are no footprints or hoof prints or anything.
Nope.
Oh, good, great, awesome. This thing doesn't leave tracks. Fun. Follow the blood. Let's go.
I've got a compass
boy.
if we need it.
Did anyone search the body before we?
Thank you, did.
Yeah, Dr. Anki
Okay.
as part of her investigation.
Standard operating procedure of autopsy. Loot.
Indeed.
Yeah.
You make your way following these tracks through back alleys and various things, and you eventually find yourself emerging into the northernmost part of town, where you find the church. The blood spatter dissipates further and further until eventually it goes cold halfway through the graveyard.
I really hope this isn't another Grim.
Have you found one before?
You and me
Yes.
both.
It's not a grim.
Well, at least a Grim we knew how to deal with.
Yes.
I don't know about this beast that you keep describing. I've never heard of one before.
I did find in a book that it can be distracted with apples, and I happen to have brought a bag with me.
Of all the times not to bring Thurston, he's the expert on apples.
A whole bushel of apples!
Not a bad one in the bunch.
A bottle of apples. Have you snuck into my recipes?
I hold out my hand and say, "Can I have one?"
It's very surprising that you.
I'll place one in your hand.
Thank you.
It's
He
very-
puts it in his pocket for later.
It's very
Okay.
surprising that you, a man of the faith, would be looking at the cult books. Ingrid said as she shivers because she realizes she's been sitting in the cold, wet snow and now she's cold and wet.
Hello, Dr. Anki.
So, I don't know if it's supposed to be anything rolled, but seeing as Father Pavel mentioned out of character earlier that they're not up to the dress code, is that something notable?
Yeah, I'd say so.
I see we left Uppsala in a hurry, Pavel.
Yes, one could say that.
Excellent. I lost myself. We're in a graveyard. I'm surrounded by death. Everything is normal. You said something, Kruger or Ingrid?
Apples.
I don't know how to exactly fight this thing, but apparently apples is the one thing about these things that we know. We have key, yes? I imagine key is for a hotel.
Yes. Also room. Also, we have rooms reserved if memory serves. And if not, we will make it so.
Ingrid's gonna
Let's-
wander back to the body.
Oh, please do not walk alone.
We could use the apple as a bait for your bear/man trap that you've acquired.
That is the best idea. That being said, we don't know where it doesn't leave track. Have you noticed? There are no footprints, there are no anything. It is left blood. Where is the blood leading to? It just leads to the graveyard and then just stops.
You know enough about sort of tracking at this point
Yeah, it just...
to know when a trail goes cold. Essentially, the tracks have taken you as far as this specific lead will go.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think that apple route is the way to go as well, like with the you know.
The creature may not have left tracks. Do you spot any of the man who walked off?
Good question. Yeah, I will actually say that with 2 successes, you can probably incorporate that into your roll. Since you weren't looking for people at the time, it probably didn't occur to you as much.
Well, I'll go back. I'll go back and
you-
find them. Yeah.
You double back. You do notice that it is actually going in the same direction that you were going. These footprints of this man were leading towards the church, and as you follow them back around, it actually splits off a little bit before you did, taking a route through another side street and leading away from the town proper, beside the graveyard and through what looks like a narrow pass between two copses of trees towards Lighthouse Hill.
Okay.
Ingrid has gone back to the body.
I am not leaving Ingrid alone.
Ingrid,
I'm
what would
just
you...
taking notes at this point.
No worries. I will say that eventually, once you are done tracking the mysterious figure, you all reconglomerate back at the body. Ingrid, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm gonna prod it, and then I think I want to chat to her.
Want to chat to her? Okay.
Are we all there?
Yeah, I will say that at this point you will find your way back.
Do you want my stick again? My cane?
No, your stick is not useful here.
Well, I've got a saber and I pull that out instead. You could give it a hearty poke.
I'm going to take my big crystal ball out of my bag.
Oh.
I'm gonna, try and put the woman so she's on her back, holding the crystal ball on her chest, with her hands. And then I'm going to use the tincture.
Okay. Please make me, let's say, your magic roll. Let's make this. So your empathy observation, please.
Okay, that's...
Kruger notes that she's doing magic.
Observation.
Oh, wait.
I got 3 successes.
Wow!
Did magic really well.
I've done nothing well all the day. I finally got 3 successes.
Nice.
All right, you have in your hands, you pull out the skull that you received at the Cenotaph Hearth before, sort of a skull of indeterminate creature. You're not entirely sure exactly what it was before. It's a sort of smaller skull, perhaps the size of a balled up fist, sort of amethysts for eyes. You cradle it in your hands and hold it over the body, and you open its jaws as you feel the almost head rush of the magic begin to surge through you. It's like being in a wagon wreck where you are sat down one moment and then impact and you are flung from your seat. And it's that stomach churning rush of something wrenching you out of this world and through a veil into something else that you can feel the magic channeling itself through you. And the skull gives a wheeze into the dark night as it gives a humorless breath into the air and opens its jaws. And at that moment, the eyes of this corpse, filmy and white with decay, snap open, and it takes a labored breath into dying lungs. And for a moment, just a moment, Olga has a voice again. And she says, "It is dark here."
Yes, you are dead.
I see. I had thought something of the sort was happening, but I had not gotten confirmation quite yet.
You were potentially killed by Glosson.
Ah. Oh, isn't that a predicament?
What were you doing?
We were far too arrogant. We tried to talk to things we shouldn't have done, and the devil repaid us in kind. The Glosson comes for all who it deems agents of the devil, and it has deemed us as such. We are all doomed to die by its hand now.
Where will we find your friends so that we can help them?
They are at the hotel, I believe. I left them there to come and meet you.
This is sad. Do you have any last requests?
Look after my friends. They were only here to help me, and please, give little Lily my best.
All right.
And at that moment, as the air, the last breath, the lungs that have greedily clutched at air that is not natural for this body to have any longer, it releases the last energies that it has, and the eyes flicker shut once more.
Was that the body that had been gored?
Yep.
That was gross.
Yep. Also, Matt, I think... There you go.
Was that?
I'm going to put the skull back in the bag, and I'm going to pick up the crystal ball out of cold dead woman hands and put it back in bag.
Ingrid, as you do this, as you put the skull away, you hear in your ear the very familiar voice of Ezekiel go, very nice.
Hey, is there someone else in there?
In where?
Don't worry, Cressius. This is just what Ingrid does. You'll get used to it.
Yes, Alexander.
Can I identify what skull that was for?
Of course you can. Please make me a logic and learning test.
God damn it if I mess this
Did-
up.
Did you actually just talk to the dead?
Yes.
Beeps do help.
Yes,
I can't get over how weird that is. That person just talked.
I don't know what's stranger, the fact that Ingrid can talk to the dead, or that we've kind of normalized it by now.
It's almost as normal as someone who's a priest.
That's exactly what I'm getting at. That's not normal.
It's totally
I'm having an
unnatural to be a
aneurysm.
priest. Me too. Being a priest is
It's just
absolutely
because-
nuts.
Mr. Curio?
I have no idea what it's like to be a priest. Do you, Pavel?
Yes, Father. What? Well, you literally have this thing happening in front of you. What do you have to say about that?
Ah, yes.
And she seems happy about it.
What do you have to say about my occult practices, Father Pavel?
It's obviously not normal, but we've kind of become accustomed to it now.
Curio, you will find a bottle of fine liqueur forcefully pushed into your hand, another hand on your shoulder, and Tom says, drink.
I'm writing you all the in this book. I can't. You merry band of wits.
This is literally just because it's before the watershed in Australia, isn't it?
Yep, there we go.
You're the only one who
Low-key
gets
L, my
censored.
goal is to make you spit that drink out at some point. I'm gonna
It
do
has-
it.
It has been so hard to not do. I've been
I'm
very
gonna make you-
calculated.
Do it at some point.
I can tell. I fear. Okay. Alexander,
Hello.
you examine this skull as she puts it away. You sort of take a look at what it could be. You're not sure precisely, but you know that for an animal skull, the shape of it is far too uncomfortably close to humanoid. It's somewhere between the two.
Did Ingrid kill a chimp?
No. I have ideas.
Ingrid, whilst you ask sort of, is anyone else in there? You hear Ezekiel's voice again say, only for a short while, don't be alarmed. This is just my price.
We can all hear this, right?
No.
Yeah. Those of you who are close enough to Ingrid, you hear sort of a dulled, tinkling voice around her.
What
I look at this and go, oh, this, and I just walk out the alleyway. Second voices, I'm done.
This is
I
great.
wish to grab the man.
Have you met my other friend in there? He has a great time. It's...
No, I heard it, and I'm. Oh!
No, he hasn't met me. That voice you guys don't hear.
Yes, right. You hear this too? Is his friend from shop?
Oh, he's fine.
All right.
Old friend.
I'm gonna just turn around now, like, oh, you guys are all still here,
Well,
except for
Anki is
obviously
currently
Crassus.
following
Who's leaving?
Yeah,
trying to
Crassius,
make
you've
him
gone
stop.
back into the sort of the main thoroughfare of Morley. Where are you going? What would you like to do?
Should
I
we
just want to have a
continue to
breather.
the hotel
I just
and
need,
maybe
I just need some.
Was
Sorry.
was it something I said?
Oh yes, entirely. It was something you and the other person that ceased to exist said.
Ah.
I don't understand any of that.
No, I don't understand it either. Priesthood is
Ugh.
weird.
I think
Gives me like
maybe we go to the inn and have a strong drink to settle
Yeah, I
your
need a-
nerves. So
I need a pint or 7.
You have. There is a bottle of aquavit cradled in your hand right now. Drink it for the crying of the mother.
Look, I said I needed extra. This is only so much. This is my writing juice, and then I need extra alcohol to actually get drunk.
I now pickpocket Pavel and give him the wine.
Oh hell yes! Let's get all sloshed.
God
Let's
damn
get
it.
on. Let's get on this. I'm down to.
Because
I'm
it's
down
either
to.
that or putting the fear of proper death into him.
Well, it's not
Amazing.
like he's going to put the fear of God into him anytime soon.
Oh, I'm.
Okay,
oh,
what
I'm
is
a
up with
heathen.
this?
So you know.
And I literally scoop this corpse up and take it to like just scoop it all in there, just back in its bits, and just
God.
take it. Yeah, I know, awful. You did this to us. Pick it up,
Wait,
I believe I
Niels,
have some
you wrote
extra-
this.
and I
It
take
looks
it
like you're going to a
to
wedding.
the hotel.
You take it to okay.
No, I'm going to leave it like in the street outside the hotel, but I'm going to basically go in and say, "We found a corpse."
Okay, great.
That is.
Just like straight up.
Hey,
Yeah,
is
straight
this
up.
yours? Does this belong to you?
Good evening. Hey kids, want to see a dead body?
I found this in alleyway. Is this yours?
For sure. All of you head inside the Morley Seaside Hotel.
What do you want me
here-
to do? Just leave it?
In here, it is a well-appointed and charming interior. All well-crafted wood, roaring fireplaces, tasteful paintings hanging from the walls in a welcoming social area, full of sofas and comfortable seating. All are looked over by a well-stocked bar area. There's a chandelier hanging from the ceiling, casting fractured light all around the opulent interior. There's an ornate spiral staircase at the back, heading up to the next floor and down to a basement area. Behind the bar, cleaning up the bar, currently now bereft of patrons as it is about 1:30 a.m., 1:45. There's a young woman, perhaps early 20s, hair pulled back into a low ponytail and wearing an apron on top of a dress with a wide white collar, sort of cleaning up behind the bar, making sure everything's in order. She looks up as you all come in, says, evening.
Hello.
Morning.
Hello.
Wait, so it's
I believe.
1:30 a.m. So like very early. Okay.
Yeah.
Morning, I believe. But yes.
Ingrid's going to go upstairs.
Straight
we have
up.
reservations. And also a corpse.
Pardon?
Don't mention the call.
On the way into town, we discovered a woman on the roadside. It looks as if they were attacked by wolves or some sort of large animal.
Oh dear.
Also guest at hotel.
Okay. Oh, right. Well, if you have a reservation, what's the name that the reservation is under? Can I ask?
Let us see. It would either be under Linnea Elfclint or it would be under any of us, and that would be
Linnea.
Salo, Kruger, Pavel,
I
whatever
do
Ingrid's
believe-
name is.
Yes,
My
we
name is
have
Ingrid. She yells from the stairs as she's sitting there waiting.
We have a Miss Elfclint. Yes. Here are your keys, and she sort of hands you like a folder full of keys on the table.
Yeah.
She says, "Okay, hello."
Now, is there a room for there for Mr. Curio at all?
Yes, you've been you were included in the reservation.
Yes, of course. But what's the state of the room? Has it been cleaned? Has it been cleaned like thoroughly? Has it been cleaned to like an utmost standard? Is it what are we talking about here?
I cleaned it myself this morning. Yes.
Oh, good. So I know who to talk to if it's not. Okay, good.
I see. Good.
Glad.
Good to know. Welcome to the Hotel Molly. Yes. How can I help you? Looks over at Dr. Anki.
No. That was Dr. Anki just wants to lean in, almost chummy, with a smile towards Curio.
Compatriot here.
Mister,
Yes.
we will go see to the room, shall we? I don't
Yes,
believe
well,
this person needs to be bothered right now, yes?
Absolutely. I just want to make sure it's all in order. You know, everyone here needs to have a good night's sleep, and if it's pre-booked
So,
for
Al,
work, then we're all good.
I would like to strike fear into this man.
Okay. Oh, geez, Crassius, please roll me a logic or empathy test.
That's too many years of dead bodies and burying them and not knowing where they lie anymore, or indeed if they ever slept in the first place.
One of them's
Us
outside.
bleeding
Physically
through
speaking,
her
I
eyes.
still work for him, so if you frighten him, I might bean you in the back of the head with one.
I consider that an
so-
acceptable trade at this point. Or
You
Anki
said
does.
you said empathy. Does that come under like manipulation at all?
Unfortunately, this is just a straight attribute roll
Straight?
of your
Okay.
empathy or logic.
Okay, so
All right.
top right.
So that's 3. Okay. That's a fail.
I'm gonna count that towards a paveling.
Oh, geez. Dr. Anki, what condition are you looking to inflict on Crassius here? You're looking to inflict fright, correct?
Pardon?
You're looking to inflict fright, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Crassius, as you turn your gaze from this sort of sweet, young-looking woman, looking very sort of like she is sort of wide-eyed, staring at you all who've come into her hotel so late at night, you turn towards Dr. Anki and you see something that you did not expect to see. You know Dr. Anki is stern. You know that she is a woman of few words on occasion, but you have never known her to be frightening until this moment. There is something in her eyes that is more than stern. It is intense. This is a person who has seen things that you could not even dream of. These are eyes that have witnessed nightmares and lived, and you cannot even comprehend the deepest parts of that. You are frightened. Please take the frightened condition.
Hey, I don't want to, I don't want to impose any more on what you're doing here. Do you know a man named Lucius at all? Because you're giving me vibes.
I may have buried him.
Oh.
All right, we've all
That
got
raises more
challenges.
questions than answers.
Yes. Stairs.
The young woman says, my name is Lisa. I'm the daughter of the proprietor, Katerina. Lovely to meet you all. If please all have a good night's sleep, I'll go and fetch the constable to deal with whatever's outside.
Yes, very prudent. Thank you very much. You've been such a good help.
You're welcome.
The key that we basically pickpocketed out of this corpse, that is the same as the keys that we've got. Like it's got the yeah. Okay, cool.
Lisa hurriedly makes her way out, leaving you guys alone in the hotel. Are you all going up to your rooms?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, straight up.
You can get it.
Fantastic. You head up to the room number 203. You
I will go with Ingrid.
Okay,
Yeah.
who is with her? Everyone?
Okay, as well.
Everyone going with? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
No.
You will head up to the second floor and find the third room, sort of on the right. It's one with a gorgeous ocean view, and as you go to knock on it, it swings open under your knuckles, ever so slightly. So you're like, push it open. In here, it is a well-appointed and lavish single room with a similar aesthetic to downstairs, with its landscape paintings of the sea. This room is laid out with clothes scattered out all over the floor, personal belongings arranged on the surfaces. On the desk is a diary sat atop a stack of paperwork. The paperwork appears to be a variety of maps, one of Sweden, one of Uppsala, one of Morley, and then one of what seems to be some sort of cave system. Can those of you who are looking at this paperwork please make me a logic and learning roll?
Ooh.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm all right at that. So,
And
do you just get the with this? Do you get the number that's just in the skill, or do you add that to your I'm still...
It's your skill and attribute roll, yeah. So
Okay, yeah.
I straight paddled it.
What's the advantage on this? Is it an extra dice? Or
extra 2 dice.
An extra 2 dice. Okay.
Indeed.
1 success.
Fantastic.
Oh, I roll d8s. I'm a dum-dum.
Oh dear.
Just
Somehow I
Are all
rolled
the rooms? Are all the rooms similar to this?
Any other Pavels?
I'm a Pavel.
Yeah, Pavled.
Okay, current
All
count.
right, 2
12.
successes. Wow. Okay.
Can I help my friends in a weird way?
What did you roll?
I rolled 0. However, I wanted to, as I was looking around, kind of mention casually that I believe there might be another base around here somewhere. Just to...
There might be a what?
Another base around here somewhere.
Oh, right. Yes.
Just to see if that, like, helps find any of them find anything interesting out.
Yeah, you guys don't find anything relating really to society headquarters in the area, but you do find that amongst the maps there is one of a place called Rooting Cave, specifically Crassius and I think Dr. Anki. You both rolled 2s for this? Okay.
I rolled 1 success.
Oh, sorry, Crassius and Father Pavs. You both notice that the place denoted in the cave system map is called Rooting Cave.
Well,
Yeah, it's not great.
you know, books
it's
are written there for a reason.
It's a deep cavern that exists in the base of Lighthouse Hill itself. In the margins is scrawled the words, charged with arcane potential. Portal to hell, question mark? Crassius, you sort of thumb your way through the diary, and it appears to be a journal of one Chef Johnson. A passage has been marked by a fraying red bookmark, and it reads as follows. When my sister was found dead, with her abdomen split open, I stopped being a child and became an adult. It was nearly New Year's Day, and my sister Elsie led the rest of us around the church, having heard that one could see the future by peeking through the keyhole. We were playing with forces we did not understand, and the unseen punishes the arrogant. As we approached the church door, our path was blocked by the biggest boar I've ever seen. Its eyes glowed red in the dark, and its back was covered with sharp bristles. Its mouth was equipped with massive tusks. Elsie grabbed an apple from her pocket and threw it on the ground, which made the beast forget about us for a moment, and we were able to escape. But as soon as we heard its hooves thunder against the ground behind us, we knew it was back. Suddenly, Elsie, who had been running next to me, was no longer there. I stopped and saw her walk towards the great swine. On purpose. She just stopped and walked towards it. I couldn't stop her. And then I ran as fast as I could. She died so that I could live. For many years, I have collected rumors and tales about this creature whose name is the Glosson. It is said to seek out witches and those with the sight, devouring their innards to absorb their power. But I have heard of people who've escaped that fate by distracting it with apples or nuts. Some say the creature can be controlled by a witch using a staff of lindenwood. After what happened to my sister, I will never go outside on a winter's night again, nor do I let my children leave the house. And the journal is signed off by Chef Nicholas Johnson in Anstorp, and seems to be an excerpt from his diary.
Okay,
As you're reading out, as you say the word witch, Kruger just turns very slightly to Ingrid.
I thought the same thing. So, Ingrid, it says it basically eats witches, unless you have some special wood staff. So you need to take Mr. Johnson's wood staff down to the Rooting Caves and then sort something out. Otherwise, you might die. By the sound of it.
I'm not a witch.
If we continue this route.
That's great. I'm not witch.
Oh, okay. What was the business with literally the dead person then?
Oh, I'm an occultist. It's very different.
It is not.
Starts
I look
with an
around.
O.
I'm like, is that different? I'm actually not from here.
It is not.
Have you seen her burned by any stakes yet?
But the four of you seem very blasé about the whole magic.
I know, it's
thing.
really
So
strange for a practicer of the cloth to be so blasé about it.
Yes, it's very strange. Father, what do you have to say about this again? Like, because it's
Father.
very clearly something that you would burn. on the stake. So I would love to know your very in-depth insight into that.
And for that reason, I'm not a witch.
As Ingrid has been trying to point out for such a while now,
What could I possibly be trying to point out, Father?
Yes, do continue. I would love to know.
I regret to tell you all that I am in fact not actually a priest.
Shock and awe! Oh wait. So why have you got the collar?
So you
and
were
everything
disbarred,
still?
handed in a letter of resignation?
So what I told you before about what happened to my flock or parishioners was the truth. However, I was just a mere parishioner. I was hiding out from the cold, and a grim entered the building, and for some reason left me alive. And I saw a chance to acquire some clothes that would allow me a better standing and more, ability to be able to acquire food and shelter if I needed it.
So how long have you been pretending to be a pastor, father? I don't know what to call you anymore, like title-wise.
I call
go
him
on.
Pavel.
Pavel.
Yeah.
You know, Pavel, to rhyme with liar.
Ah, yes.
So you, in a moment of weakness, decided to pretend to be a man of the cloth.
That's correct, yes.
And when you revealed this to one of your compatriots, they have spent the last few days making snide comments.
Yes, that's exactly what
and
is happening.
trying
Yeah, it
to
looked like it.
reveal your secrets, even though it is not theirs to reveal.
I didn't reveal it.
Well, that's why she pressured him so often into making him do it himself. She's off the hook as far as I'm concerned.
I'm not the one lying to everybody.
Yes.
I wear who I am on my sleeve, even if it makes you uncomfortable.
Yes, I do apologise for... I suppose I sort of fell into the role, as it were, and got used to wearing the clothes and everything that came with it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you could change out of those clothes at any given moment, right? Like, you have spares. And you just kept the same ones on the whole time. And I didn't want to bring it up, but it's got a bit of a smell to it.
The danger
have
of
you
going...
have you not smelt Ingrid over there?
I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, but now that I've seen her literally talk with the dead, I've got a bit more context. You've just been, like, gallivanting around in smelly priest clothes this whole time.
She literally has mushrooms
you're not even a
growing out of her
priest.
feet.
You can't see that. I'm wearing shoes.
I bet you've still got
no.
mushrooms in there, though.
They like to go
An
in the
athlete's
moist
foot,
conditions.
nothing to joke about. It's a serious condition. Some people, can't get rid of it even with the relevant creams.
Worse things have been amputated for.
Yeah, see, Doc knows what's up.
So,
But yes.
the problem is that while we went to go and find the Grim, they attack blasphemers and the faithless, and without any kind of conversation that would have led to you being perhaps killed by this creature, you walked in there without telling us. Yes.
That is correct, yes.
So, is there anyone here that would like to perhaps say that they are in fact an apple in disguise that might be gored by these creatures? Or that they are a witch or wizard or sorceress or Baba Yaga that has gained the ire of this beast?
That
Yeah.
you hear, you're close enough to Ingrid in this small room that you hear a small, almost like you're hearing it from very far away. You hear a tinkling, lilting laugh. It comes from directly behind her.
Very slowly, like
Someone's
with
listening
an
to
almost
us.
creak of the floorboards, he turns just his head to look at Ingrid.
Yes.
What was that?
I believe they call it a giggle. It's what you do when you have any kind of joy in your heart.
But your
You
mouth
didn't
didn't
move your mouth.
I didn't
Yeah,
do
that
it.
one.
I never said that I giggled.
Okay,
You
so
asked
who's
what
listening
was
to
it,
us
and
then?
I told you what it was. I
You are
don't
the
think-
one who does not
You're
like
right.
secrets, Ingrid.
I'm not,
You're
I'm
also
not
the-
keeping
yeah.
a secret. I am literally telling you what it was.
Who was
Okay,
it?
but who
I
made
can
it?
presume my friend from a shop in town called Ezekiel. Presume.
But okay, so they're physically not here. Are they talking through you or something like that? Is this more like the is this more boar gonna eat you type stuff?
I don't know if a
You
boar is
would
going
not
to
be-
eat me. It was going to eat me beforehand.
Oh, that's grim.
Boars eat people. It's what happens.
The man with the staff. That is the staff we are looking for, yes?
I presume so. I presume that the person we saw that snuck into the alleyway was actually this controller with the big staff.
And he's just gone.
He has gone.
You will be found again. How many of her friends are here, apparently, that may also be being...
I don't know. This is where they
Targeted.
are supposedly supposed to be, in this room. That's
We
what
can
she
in-
said.
They did say that there was extras here, didn't they, El?
Yeah.
We can inquire as to the hotel staff when they return as well. We do have a room key and plausible association,
Unless they're already dead.
in which case it should be a lot easier to find them.
Well, that
Okay.
might be the reason they're not here.
Yeah. There's a lot going on here.
Certainly.
is.
So what do we do? Like what's the game plan?
Well,
It is about 2 in the morning. I would recommend sleep.
sleep would probably be good.
Oh.
More
okay.
specifically, I believe there is probably other place around here, much like we are other society places, but we don't know where they are. Also,
And-
this little pig thing, we already know it's like raised for vengeance purposes against, and clearly against those who cast the magics. So,
Yeah.
who the freak hates magic around here enough to use it against those who use it?
Oh, we only
and
just
what's-
arrived.
Yeah, what's more like what other circumstances in which does this thing come about? How long does it last? And like, is it true? Is it actually a bad thing? You know, like
Find out.
I would love to get in contact with one of these things.
Find out on another
for the first
exciting
time,
episode
yes.
of tomorrow morning.
Yes.
This means I want to sleep, Curio.
Very much.
It is late.
wanted. It is
Okay.
at the end of our rope, I think.
Yes.
All right. And all of you part for the evening, heading into your various rooms.
Actually,
Hello.
I would like to grab Father Pavel, notedly.
Sure.
Hopefully
Okay.
alone.
All right. We will finish up today's episode with a scene between Dr. Anki and Father Pavel in that case.
Father,
Yes.
let it be known that you have been helpful on our ventures, and I consider you a valuable compatriot. Your relationship with the truth notwithstanding. I wish you to know that I meant what I said up in Hernesand. That I genuinely believe that there is a good man somewhere under that, which is you. And I hope that your misgivings and actings notwithstanding, you realize that while the Lord forgiving, you best pray we are too. But be
Yes.
loved, and
Thank
be
you.
well, and sleep. Doctor's orders.
Good night, Doctor.
Uh-huh.
Anki.
Can I do one thing before I go to bed?
What's Cam? What's up?
Can I send a letter to the nice people that I talk to occasionally? Because I feel like I may die tomorrow, and I'd really like them to know about this.
I will get you safe,
Basically
big boy.
Dear Janet, I might die tonight.
I also go
What's
back.
the
I also go back
content?
into Cassius and grab my wine.
Amazing.
I've really drunk.
Basically,
I've
I would
bloody
like
drunk
them.
so much.
I would like them to definitely know that one of them can straight up do magic.
Okay, you're telling your compatriots about Ingrid?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else you would include in the letter?
That there is a what was it,
Glosson.
Glosson, my apologies. Glosson in this town. We are hunting it. If we do not manage to take it down and you receive my next missive, please send people. Please send more.
Yep, no worries. You pen that letter for sending the next day.
It will be in a cipher, of course it will, because
of course. I will say that this hotel is nice enough that it sort of has the capacities to get things to the post office for you. Okay, so as we draw back from our scenes, we leave each of our Thursday's children in their own rooms, passing off the night as they will, maybe with a stiff drink, maybe with sitting down and some quiet reflection, perhaps with having a chat with a new voice that has ended up surrounding them. New friends having been made and new mysteries uncovered, we will once again call our session to a close for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you to my glorious players and to our special guest, Matt Brown, for joining us here today on VAESEN. It's been a delight. Yeah, and join us once again next time. Same bat time, same bat channel. It's going to be 9 p.m. British summertime time zone for all of y'all. And yeah, we will pick up this mystery on the Night Sow in our story King Hunt. Yeah, thanks again. We love you all. You're the best. And I'm going to go and pass out and sleep.
Good night and good morning.
I'm gonna have breakfast.
Go eat breakfast, my man. This champion has been awake since 5 a.m. for us. He's amazing.
All the glory to you, dude.
Thanks, guys.
Night, everyone.
Hi, babies.